Good evening and welcome to 302 Sports Henlopen Conference Friday night game of the week. Tonight live from Felton, Delaware. It's the Wilmington Friends Quakers at 2-1 and the Lake Forest Spartans at 3-0. Good evening, folks. My name is Benny Mitchell, and you're watching the Showdown Concepts pregame show here tonight on 302 Sports. Tonight we have a non-conference battle between two top 10 teams in Division II from the Independent Conference. Number 2 ranked Wilmington Friends travels south to take on the second of 3 Henlopen South opponents they will face this season. Undefeated, number 8th ranked Lake Forest plays host to the Quakers in what may be the Spartans' biggest game in the last 5 years. Let me bring on my broadcast partner tonight, Justin Jones. Justin is a local guy graduating from Smyrna High School, and he earned a degree from Lynchburg in communications. So in his debut here tonight on 302 Sports, it's exciting to give him his opportunity to put those studies to work, and I'm sure your parents appreciate it too. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you, Benny, for having me on. It should be an exciting game for both of us up here. Two great teams, top 10 in the state, and also on two experienced head coaches on each side of the field. I'm going to personally go with the underdog tonight in Lake Forest, the home team, with Wilmington Friends coming in here. I think the key matchup is going to be the offensive defensive line trying to control the line of scrimmage here this evening.
And you'll see my pick later coming up on the Purple Parrot Pigskin Picks coming up after this segment. When you talk about Wilmington Friends, you start by mentioning the legendary head coach Bob Tattersall. Coach Tattersall enters his 53rd season with well over 300 career victories. The Quakers are led by quarterback Wyatt Nelson, who has been their starter for 3 years, and might I add, he was a starter at Caravel as a freshman. Nelson has a great vision, can tuck the ball and run. At 6'2", 220 pounds, he will be a load to bring down, especially in open field. But the Quakers have to stop the running game of Isaiah Johnson.
You're exactly right there. Isaiah Johnson's one of the key players for this Lake Forest team, Benny. And on the season, I mean, he's a power back. He's a guy that's going to deliver the load and try to get those. I think what's important for Lake Forest is on first and second down, getting good yardage to lead Isaiah Johnson in those third, stay in front of the change. They haven't really thrown the ball that much, only 6 total passes on the year. They can stay in front of the chains. They'll be able to just keep handing off to Isaiah Johnson and Zaire Elliott.
Lake Forest has been all about their ground game this season. Isaiah Johnson averaging over 10 yards a carry so far. The junior has rushed for 283 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Spartans. Lake Forest has raced out to a 3-0 start, and after this week, they head into conference play, making noise as a team that could return to the Division II state tournament. A concern for the Spartans is their secondary. Lake Forest struggled last Saturday with the passing game of Newark, giving up 2 touchdowns in the air. Tonight, they're going to see an experienced quarterback in Wyatt Nelson.
Yes, Benny. Wyatt Nelson, a senior quarterback. What stood out to me in warm-ups was his accuracy. But he hasn't really been pressured that much this year. I've been able to watch some highlights and some game film. He's really had his time back there in the pocket. I think if Lake Forest can get some pressure on him, maybe calls a turnover or two, they can be in this ball game.
Folks, we're going to take a commercial time out here on the 302 Sports pregame show with Benny Mitchell and Justin Jones, and then we're going to hit to our Pigskin Picks of the Week from the Purple Parrot. So we'll be right back after this couple commercials and our Pigskin Purple Parrot picks.
I'm Scott Kammerer of Showdown Concepts. We have 8 locations, a catering company and a food truck right here on the Culinary Coast in southern Delaware, and we'd love to see you at one of our locations. Fish On and Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue in downtown Rehoboth, serving homemade pasta. Papa Grande's in downtown Rehoboth. Our treetop deck has the best happy hour around. And Matt's Fish Camp, located on Route 1 in North Bethany Beach, your classic seafood chef. At Showdown, we believe in beautiful, simple food and making the world a better place. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Showdown Concepts. Showdown Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the Culinary Coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Showdown Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Showdown Concepts on the Culinary Coast with 10 locations from Lewis, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
634 Rehoboth Avenue on your right-hand side as you're headed to the beach. And Trey, we go to week 4, and we're starting to get out of some non-conference games and into more conference games, as we're going to have a couple. Henlopen South, as they're going to kick the season off this week. But let's start with some out-of-state opponents. Del Mar Wildcats will be hosting the Easton Warriors at 7:30 Friday night. This will be the 3rd straight week that the Wildcats play a Bayside Conference opponent. A big second half helped to lead Del Mar to a 47-21 victory over Queen Anne's. Easton comes in averaging 40.7 points per game. Again this week, it's tough to make a living playing in Del Mar. I'm going to take the Del Mar Wildcats.
Yeah, it's a good matchup, but I like Del Mar at home.
Some more non-conference games. Pretty big one here. I think early in the season, maybe not so much, but 7 o'clock kickoff in Smyrna, and comes in the new number one ranked Salesianum. The Smyrna Eagles, they came into the season as unknown. They go 0-2 to start, and then they come out in week 3 knocking off number 1 Sussex Central. Their defense showed up last week. This week they get another shot at the new number 1 team in the state. But the Salesianum offense is clicking on all cylinders to start the season. Not that Smyrna didn't prove something to me last week, but I just feel Salesianum, they got a little peek at what the Eagles are going to do. I'm going to take Salesianum in a very close game.
Yeah, I agree. Smyrna was very impressive to me last week. Their defense, like you said, showed up. I think their defense is going to give Salesianum's offense problems, but I like Sally's in a close one.
7 o'clock kickoff in Woodside. It's the Laurel Bulldogs and the Polytech Panthers. That's a Henlopen South versus Henlopen North game. The Laurel Bulldogs on the road after hosting 3 straight upstate teams, leading to an 0-3 record. The Bulldogs look to get into the win column on Friday night, and this poses a good opportunity for them. Polytech has looked much improved since that season-opening 41-0 loss to Lake Forest in the 302 Sports Kickoff Classic. After last week's close loss to CR, I see this game as even, but I'm going to give Polytech the advantage at home.
Yeah, it's a pretty even matchup. Both teams are struggling to start the season, but I like Polytech at home.
1 o'clock kickoff in Wilmington. It's the Woodbridge Blue Raiders traveling up north to take on Division I Concord. These are some big state tourney points, bonus points available. Concord got into the win column last week, defeating Mount Pleasant 14-10. They face a much stiffer opponent in Woodbridge this weekend. I'm taking the Woodbridge Blue Raiders.
Yeah, I like Woodbridge in this one. Woodbridge is going to roll.
Henlopen North games, 7 o'clock kickoff in Camden. It's the Sussex Central Golden Knights and the Cesar Rodney Riders. The Riders, they get into the win column last week with a 32 win against Polytech after a tough loss at Caravel. The Riders may have things going in the right direction. This is a bounce-back week for the Golden Knights. They play their final of 4 straight road games to start the season. Sussex Central is a tough team to beat 2 weeks in a row. I'm going with Sussex Central.
Yeah, well, I'm glad CCR got in the win column. Like you said, I think they're getting in the right direction now. I think they'll play Central tough, but Central, they got a bad taste in their mouth after last week, so I'm not going to make a pick.
7 o'clock kickoff in Georgetown. Cape Henlopen gave Milford a rude welcome back to the Henlopen North last Friday night. The Bucks fell behind early. They had to play catch-up. This week they travel to Sussex Tech to take on the Ravens. Tech is better than their 1-2 record reflects, starting the season with 3 tough road games. And then the Ravens are going to sandwich in a home game between 6 games on the road. They're calling themselves the Road Warriors this year. I look for the Ravens to take advantage of the home crowd this weekend because they're not going to see them again for 4 more weeks. I'm taking Sussex Tech in this one.
Yeah, Milford's struggling in Henlopen North coming back to Henlopen North last week and then playing a really tough, even though you said 1-2 record, really tough Sussex Tech team. Not many home games. It's going to be Sussex Tech.
7 o'clock kickoff at the beach in Lewis. Dover Senators coming to take on the Cape Henlopen Vikings. The Vikings will honor their 1979 state championship team. They're going to start the game with energy. They're going to have momentum. Last week's conference win was huge for the Vikings. But this week it's the Dover Senators coming to town, and they dropped 52 points on Northeast from Maryland last week. Dover also has let up 40 points in each of the first 2 games versus the now number 1 Salesianum and number 2 Hodgson. Cape has to take advantage of that. Cape, I think they have to make this game a shootout because I just think the Senators' offense is explosive. I'm going to take Dover on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to have to be a shootout. Cape's going to take advantage of the 40 points per game, but I think Dover's offense is going to be too much for them. I like Dover.
Henlopen South game, Friday night kickoff in Dagsboro. 7 o'clock, it's the Seaford Blue Jays and the Indian River Indians. Both these teams are looking for the first win of the season. The Indians will use what they learned from 2 close losses this year, and they're going to get in the column first. I'm taking Indian River.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, both teams are struggling, but I like Indian River at home.
And our Friday night Henley Conference game of the week features the Wilmington Friends Quakers and the Lake Forest Spartans. Kickoff 7 o'clock in Felton, and you can watch this game tonight on 302 Sports. This game is equally as important for both teams, Trey. For Wilmington Friends, they're coming off a loss to Woodbridge. With only a 9-game schedule, Del Mar and Tower Hill down the road, a loss here could be devastating for Wilmington Friends' postseason hopes. For Lake Forest, it's a chance to make a statement and let Division II know the Spartans are back. These two teams are very similar, but last week Lake Forest struggled with the passing game of Newark. They gave up 2 touchdowns through the air, came back, they win the game 21-14. In Friends, they're going to see Wyatt Nelson at quarterback, and he can run, he can pass. I mean, he's 6'2", 220 at quarterback. I'm going to take Wilmington Friends coming into Felton and stealing one here.
Yeah, I've been back and forth on this game all week. I really like Lake Forest's running game. I think in order for them to do well in this game, they control the ball and pound that rock. And their defense guys play tough against the pass. Friends losing to Woodbridge. I think they got a bad taste in their mouth. Friends don't come and win this game.
Yeah, Trey, we've seen Wilmington Friends a lot over the last 3-4 years. They don't make mistakes.
No.
So, Lake Forest is going to have to play a very clean, smart game. Folks, that's your Pigskin picks for week number 4. Benny Mitchell with Trey Mitchell. Remember, Purple Parrot Grill, 134 Rehoboth Avenue, and we're going to see you at kickoff.
Hi, I'm Scott Cameron from Soto Concepts.
And I'm Lauren from Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware.
Come visit us at Catch 54 overlooking the water in beautiful Fenwick Island, Delaware. See you soon.
At Catch 54, we are committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a beautiful setting overlooking the bay. We have great nightly specials throughout the second season and serve a great happy hour every day, all year.
Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Open 7 days a week year-round. Come check us out.
And welcome back to Felton, Delaware. We're at James H. Blaze Memorial Stadium on the campus of Lake Forest High School. I'm Benny Mitchell, with me, Justin Jones, on his debut at 302 Sports. Justin, let's get right to the players to watch for tonight. For Wilmington Friends, we're going to start with the quarterback. He's their go-to guy, the 6'2", 220-pound senior, Wyatt Nelson.
Yeah, Benny, Wyatt Nelson, a great player, and I mentioned his accuracy earlier. Wilmington Friends loves to roll him out to his right and get that short passing game early, get going early. And I think that's going to be important for them early in this ball game so they can set up the run.
This guy can make a difference on the defensive line. We've watched him for 3 years now. Number 77, Manny Adebi, 6'5", 228.
Big frame, and he's a big difference maker on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to anchor down this defensive line, and he's going to have to try to blow up that run game at Lake Forest if they want to try to come away with the victory today.
And our last guy, number 20, Sam Guys. I saw him on Wednesday when I went up there. I thought, man, you've been here forever. And I found out he had a brother that played for 4 years before him. I think his name was Henry Guys, I believe. But Sam Guys, he is he's their running back. He's their scat back. He finds that off-tackle play and gets him some yardage.
Yeah, I believe he's a change of pace back, and it's going to be important for Wilmington Friends early in this ball game to get him going, to set up Wyatt Nelson in the play-action game. I think that can be very important, especially with the defensive backs on Lake Forest side.
And let's go to the Lake Forest Spartans. Players to watch brought to you by Millman's Appliance. Number 4, he's their man, Isaiah Johnson, 27 carries, 283 yards, 6 tutties.
A playmaker in the backfield, and his ability to hit the hole and his contact balance, Ben. He hits the power. He makes the first guy miss almost every time. And that's going to be important early, try to get ahead of the chains and give them some momentum and wear down that defense for Wilmington Friends.
And then their second player to watch, number 24, Zaire Elliott. He's been something on the defense this year. 5 sacks, 15, second on the team in tackles, 3 of them for a loss. And he's also one of their running backs. He's a big-time player on both sides of the ball for them.
And it's going to be important for him here today. I love his ability for play recognition. He's not going to get fooled by those counters or reverses. He does a great job of reading the offense and the running back, and I think he's going to have to put some pressure on this Lake Forest offense.
And our last player, number 66, Chris Thompson, offensive line, defensive line. This kid's a three-sport athlete. He was the conference champion or conference runner-up last year in wrestling. He also plays lacrosse, and he's an exciting player to watch. The first game we had this year had a couple turnovers and a couple big plays on defense.
And that's going to be important for Lake Forest. Try to force those turnovers. But what I love about Chris Thompson is his ability to use the hands on the offense and defensive line, shed tackles, and also get control of the defensive lineman on the opposing side of the ball. It's going to be important to control that line of scrimmage today.
Folks, we'll be right back after this commercial timeout with our keys to the game.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts.
And I'm Matt Patton from Fish On in Lewis.
We'd love to see you at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out.
At Fish On, we are committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a casual atmosphere, complete with a happening bar and outdoor patio dining. House specialties include shrimp and grits, maple glazed salmon, along with traditional seafood favorites like fish and chips, and crowd pleasers like our short rib burger with bacon tomato jam.
Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points in Lewis, Delaware. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Crust and Craft in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located just south of the movies at Midway on Coastal Highway, Crust and Craft specializes in wood-fired pizza, homemade pasta, fresh salads, and unique appetizers. Crust and Craft also has an extensive beer list featuring local and award-winning craft beers. The culinary team prides itself on using fresh ingredients and serving beautiful dishes. Crust and Craft open 7 days a week, lunch and dinner on Coastal Highway in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts.
And welcome back to James H. Blades Memorial Stadium here on the campus of Lake Forest High School. And let's talk about some players to watch. Keys to the game. Starting with Wilmington Friends, I think they just don't get away from what you do.
You're exactly right, Benny. And it's going to be important on this first drive to try to get the momentum going. A lot of offense coordinators like to script plays. It's going to be important to see if they can, get that momentum and move the ball early in the game.
And also stretch the field on offense. Make Lake Forest cover this passing game.
We talked about the defensive backs for Lake Forest, and it's going to be important to see what kind of coverage they come out with, if they're going to be playing man pressed up or if they're going to be playing more of a zone and backing off these receivers of William Friends. And then
win the turnover battle.
That's always an important one. If you win the turnover battle, you have a good chance to win that game. Or if you can force some turnovers, it sets up that offense in scoring position. It's going to be important to see here today.
And then for the Lake Forest Spartans, I think, Justin, they have to be successful in the passing game for themselves.
You're exactly right. Get started with the run as well. We're going to have to see Damian Galades step up on the passing game. Only 6 passing attempts on the season, 33 yards, 1 touchdown. I think if he can come out, throw it around a little early, it's going to back the defense off of William Friends, and it's going to open up the run game. And then
they have to limit the penalties and mistakes because you know what? Wilmington Friends doesn't make many.
And that's very important as well. Some penalty is okay, Benny, but it's the ones that hurt the team the most, the personal fouls, the pass interferences that can really hurt a drive or even, let the other team's offense build a drive and score a touchdown.
And get off the field on third down. Do not let Friends extend drives.
And that's going to be the most important thing. Lake Forest.
It was Benny's link right off, and now it's us.
Hey, Benny Pinello called. He says we're cross streaming again. Benny Pinello called because he's back in the studio for 12-9. He said our stream, he said, is Benny's.
And now it's us. And now we're back to Benny.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I have to log back into it.
Welcome to Houston Memorial Stadium, home of the
And then I hit stop screen.
Hello?
And start a new screen.
Tonight's matchup features the Vikings of St. Elizabeth versus your Seahawks of the Delaware Military Academy.
We're connected to the Dover studio. Benny
As
just
a reminder,
called me.
please help keep TMA clean, throw away all your trash in the receptacles located around the stadium. There is absolutely no smoking or alcoholic beverages on the premises. VMA and St. Elizabeth pride themselves on sportsmanship. Please cheer positively for your team and not against the opponent. Unruly or negative behavior will result in you being escorted from the
Yeah, I hit
property.
connect. It says local busy. Yeah, under it.
They're out of connection. They should put it on the radio.
Why?
Benny said he's fixing that. Benny Canelo. We'll fix his end.
Disconnect from Dover Studios. Yeah, there's Dover up top under Philly, ECW, and then Wilm, and then there's one at the bottom that says Dover Studio. That's got a green next to it. I was connected to that, and Benny was saying we were on 94.7. Is that what he was saying?
No, he said you guys weren't on.
We weren't on at all.
That's what he said. I
Yeah, I mean, you want me to send you a photo of what we got going on here? Okay.
Coming out to the field.
All right. Okay. 4492. All right. Yeah, I'll give him a call here. That's it. God, dude, what the fuck, man? I wish we didn't have to do this stupid radio shit right now.
Coming out to the field for the point toss are the captains for the Vikings. They are number 50, Vincent
Hey,
Gariatis,
man,
number
I'm
89,
having trouble with this right now.
Luke Schiavone, number 77, Joseph Trout, and number 22, Samuel Denicki.
Never mind, going on the field.
You can't go top. There's too many people.
Okay.
So I'm.
This evening, but I think we got the best one right in front
I
of
think
us.
we have a good one here. Number 2, Wilmington Friends against number 8, Lake Forest. I kind of think an 8 might be a little low for Lake Forest, but we'll find out tonight. Wilmington Friends loses 21-14 last week to number 1 Woodbridge, repeat of last year's state championship game.
We're going to warm you up real quick. For those of you who know him, you love him. He's been in Lake Forest longer than Lake Forest has been.
Waiting for the Spartans to come on the field. The Spartans
Every time we do it, let's go, baby.
will be wearing the navy blue helmets, navy blue jerseys, and navy blue pants. Wilmington Friends in the navy blue helmets, white jerseys, and navy blue pants. Folks, you're watching 302 Sports. I'm Benny Mitchell. With me tonight, Justin Jones. On the camera, Trey Mitchell. And our stat man, Dave Marvel. At home, or as we like to refer to as our Lewis studio, Kristen Mitchell will be giving us updates for the Barclay Heating and Air out-of-town school board. She'll be keeping an eye on Twitter, letting us know what's going on around the rest of the conference, and we'll let you know when we find out. So here come the Lake Forest Spartans. Coming up in the third quarter, we'll have the Jawan Johnson State Farm trivia question, and I can give you a hint. It's going to be about Lake Forest. It's a Lake Forest history question.
Congratulations. All right, it's time for the band. You guys are up.
Folks, we're going to break for the night with Jonathan, and we'll be right back with high school football.
the Lake Forest High School Band under the direction of Christopher Patterson. Thank you.
Welcome back. That was the Lake Forest High School Marching Band with our national anthem. Now it's time for the Quakers and the Spartans. As you saw early on, Justin says he's going with the underdog and the home team, Lake Forest. And as you saw in our purple pair of pigskin picks, I'm liking Wilmington Friends here in a close one on the road, and maybe with a loss to Woodbridge already, and they still have Tower Hill and Delmar down ahead on the schedule. This could possibly be a must-win game for Wilmington Friends because they only play 9.
Yeah, it could be a must-win game, but they are the favorite in this matchup, and I think they, on paper, Benny, they really match up as the more powerful team. But Lake Forest, home crowd here tonight, beautiful night. They're going to receive the ball first. Let's see if they can build some momentum here on this first drive.
Played last season. Wilmington Friends won 14-12, so we could be in for a close one. Here we go, ready for kickoff. And Wilmington Friends will boot it away to Lake Forest, who'll be going from left to right here from the booth. And Jaworski puts a foot into it. He's going to kick it down through the end zone, where Lake Forest will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. So we already talked about this kid's leg. This Jaworski 5 for 5 this year in field goals with a long of 42. And as you were talking off the air, he said everything he kicks is 30 and 40, and they're all big kicks.
Yeah, and that's a difference maker here at the high school level. You really don't see that, those big legs, and especially being accurate. 5 for 5 on the season, that's an amazing number so far, just 3 games in. We'll see if he gets a chance here this evening. Try maybe career high, break that.
1st and 10 for Lake Forest. So they come out in a full house backfield with a split to the right. And it's going to be Isaiah Johnson on the carry, and I think he's going to get stood up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a couple inches on the gain is going to bring up 2nd and a long 9.
Great job by the defense for the Quakers, able to stop him on the first play. He's going to be important tonight, Isaiah Johnson, the power back. See if he can wear down this Quakers defense.
2nd and a long 9 here, right between the 9 and 10 to go. Lake Forest breaks the huddle. And now they go back to that double wing, that veer formation with a single back. Split wide to the left. Galindez under center, motion going to the far side. It's going to be Johnson off the left side this time. Hit by number 73. And we don't have a number 73 on the roster. So Mr. number 73.
Looked like Manny Adibi was in there on the tackle as well. Too. He's in there at nose guard right now. That's one of the important matchups, Ben. We talked about the line of scrimmage for both offensive and defensive lines. So far, the Quakers doing a nice job of slowing down this run game.
Gain of, call it 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 for Lake Forest. And I don't think this is where they're going to want to be a lot tonight, Justin. 3rd and long passing situations.
We'll see what the head coach,
Fred
Johnson, wants to do here.
And it's going to be option. Galindez turns it up. He's going to get it out across the 25, but he's going to be short of the first down. In on the tackle, number 46, Patrick McKenzie. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 2 for Lake Forest. So I think they're going to be probably a little uncomfortable there. They're going a little more on 1st and 2nd so they can get themselves in some 3rd and manageable positions.
Looks like he may go for it here on 4th down. This is an opportunity to try to draw the defense off sides, maybe punt it after. But I think you have to trust your offense. I mean, you're the underdog here in this game. You're going to have to make 1 or 2 of these 4th down conversions if you want to win.
Full house backfield for Lake Forest. And it's going to be Johnson. He's got some running room. He's got the first down. Spins, gets it out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. 1st down for the Spartans.
We talked about his ability to break tackles. He broke 1 or 2 right there. And that's the runs they need on 1st and 2nd down right there. Try to wear down this defense. You see where Fred Johnson wants to go in this game, and he trusts his running back and his offensive line so far.
1st down for the Spartans. They're at their own 37-yard line. And something you don't see them in a lot is this full house backfield. Or I did, at least in the first game. Galindez under center. And it's going to be fakes the toss and goes, looks like number 24. Zaire Elliott on the carry. And maybe a yard on the play. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Looked to be a zone counter on the offensive side. And again, Adibi right there in the middle stuffing it.
A little fake pitch there to Dylan Alwyn. He had a big game against Polytech in the season opener in the 302 kickoff classic.
And I think he's going to be important here today with, Johnson getting the main load of the carries. Allen's going to be that scat back that needs to break one or two loose in the open field.
2nd and 9 for the Spartans. And it's going to be John. Oh, no, it's going to be an option. Pitched out to Allen. He's going to be running down the sideline and see where they put the foot. He's going to be close to a first down. Out of bounds on the play, though. Stops the clock.
As a head coach, offensive coordinator, you like to see that. Your plays working early, 2 first downs. Only thing I didn't really like was the pitch by the quarterback, Damian Gallandez.
Yeah, he took a risk there.
Looked a little scary, but that was his first pitch of the game. We'll give him a break.
1st and 10 on the carry by Allen for the Spartans. Out of bounds, clock will restart on the snap. Ball at the 47-yard line. And they go double split here. We saw Glendez do this in the Polytech game. A lot of dangerous pitches. Actually, one was a turnover, and that's Isaiah Johnson picking up about 4 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 6. This is where they want to be. 2nd and 6 as opposed to 3rd and 6.
Just on the offensive side, it's a lot easier for play calling. You don't limit yourself at all, and you also can keep this defense off balance if you decide to do a play action right here or maybe a toss to the outside. But on the defensive side of the ball for the Quakers, they're going to have to start plugging these gaps.
Lake Forest gets across field there at the Wilmington Friends 49-yard line. 2nd and 6. Glendez looking for a change of play, not a signal given. And it's going to be Johnson again, pushing the pile up the middle, inside the 45, down to about the 40. That's going to be another first down. That's Elliott. I'm sorry, Elliott on the carry. That gives Lake Forest another first down. So like you said, they're comfortable in what they're doing, and it's good for the offensive coordinator to see this happening.
And it's working so far. And for the Quakers, they have to be careful. The farthest guy away from the ball was a safety playing only about 6 or 7 yards. They keep running in here, maybe building a play action, could have a wide open receiver.
Glendez brings the play in from the sidelines. 1st and 10 at the 40 of Friends. Friends was your state runner-up last year, losing to Woodbridge out of the Henlopen Conference here in the state final. Just lost them last week in a close 21-14 game. And it's going to be Glendez keeps it this time. And Allen's going to push his head forward and pick up about 4 on the play, bring up 2nd and 6.
Great play call right there. On the defensive side, though, I saw Davey looked like he was over almost the 3 gap on the far side of the field, or on the far side of the line of scrimmage, I should say. A great play call from Lake Forest going to the opposite side where a DB is.
Glendez looked like he may have had that ball stuck on the fake. He kind of really had to pull hard to get it away from Johnson on that play.
Johnson wants the carries. That's what you like to see out of the running back.
Right.
He'd be doing the same thing. Probably saw a giant hole, though, with how far the splits were of the defensive lineman. There's probably a giant hole right there. Gonzalez making a different decision, though.
2nd down and 6 for Lake Forest. And it's Johnson again this time. He takes it inside the 35, down to about the 33. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and call it 4.
I like that. Lake Forest is really punching the Quakers in the mouth right now. They're really, the inside handoffs. It's going to open up the outside later in the ball game. Might see a toss here to that wide side of the field. A lot of room.
They really had to do like the short side of the field so far on this drive. Everything's coming to this side.
It's almost like a baseball pitcher, I would say. You're just trying to not tease your opponents, but set up a big play, setting up a play action, or setting up a toss play, or even a trick play.
3rd and 4 for Lake Forest. I think this time they're going to go wide left, wing to the right. And it's going to be Johnson. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, pushes forward for maybe a yard. I'm going to give them 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1. I would imagine if you were 4 down territory at your own 25, you're 4 down territory here.
Without a doubt. Let's see if they try to draw them off sides. I mean, I expect them to go back to Johnson.
Well, the ball got moved back, so now it's back to the gain of 1 on it on the play this time. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 3.
4th and 3 for the Spartans.
Leave a Debbie in on the tackle that time. And he's kind of pinching down from that tackle position now, trying to take away that.
Look at the big hole, though, right in the middle of the field.
You're right. And we're going to get a timeout here. Timeout, Lake Forest, folks. We're going to take one with them. No score with 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We'll be right back.
At Capstone Homes, we believe your new home should be designed and inspired by you. Our comprehensive new home experience will give you peace of mind. We have in-house design and drafting, selection centers, and model homes throughout Sussex County so you can experience different layouts. And a terrific team that takes an amazing amount of pride in each and every home we build. Create your new home. Create a Capstone home.
And welcome back to Lake Forest High School. That Capstone commercial, that was Jake Booth. And Capstone is going to be sponsoring our Battle of Georgetown coming up in Week 7 when Sussex Central visits Sussex Tech visits Sussex Central. Jake Booth, a former Sussex Central player, one of our new sponsors this season. So coming off the timeout on a 4th and 3, probably just inside the 3.
I feel like Lake took that timeout. They saw the defensive front. They moved it from a 3-man front into a 4-man front. See him lining up now. It opens up the middle of the field, but there's the linebacker. Looks to be number 12, Donald Morton.
4th and 3, coming off the Lake Forest timeout. They're going to go for it on 4th down. And he's got a man down the middle of the field and over his head. Turnover on downs for the Spartans. Wilmington Friends will take over at their own 33-yard line. Not really bad field position after that long drive.
You're exactly right. I do like that play call there out of Fred Johnson on the offensive side for Lake Forest. There's a little pop pass to tight end, misdirection, almost looked like you were going right then left, and then they were going to try to hit you right in the middle of the field. Just a little bit overthrown, gave his receiver a chance.
Yeah, the tight end got a little turned around on that play and couldn't find the ball. It's going to bring up a turnover on downs. 1st and 10, Wilmington Friends. And we're going to probably see a similar type of drive, maybe with a little more passing here out of Wilmington Friends, because they like to shorten the game, too, by eating up clock. 1st and 10, under center is Wyatt Nelson, the 3rd-year starter at quarterback. And it's going to hand off right side. That's the 22, Anthony Dixon. He picks up 4 on the play, brings up 2nd and 6.
Great read from Wyatt, the quarterback. That looks like more like the traditional triple option offense right there compared to Lake Forest.
Second and 6 for Wilmington Friends, the Quakers. And it's going to be, again, number 22, Dixon. And it looks like maybe a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Really a power formation there for the Quakers. No wide receivers, all tight ends, all the big bodies, and a nice job from the Spartans defense, able to hold them only to about a 1 or 2 yard gain.
3rd and 5. Let's see if Wyatt Nelson releases the ball here.
They like to roll him out to the right, try to get his body turned around. You see the receiver out there now, may just try to do a 5-6 yard out route.
And it's going to be a handoff again. Lake Forest sniffs that one out. Hits him behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a loss of 1, 4th and 6. So Lake Forest kind of sniffs that out, watching some film apparently during the week, seeing what's coming.
Let's see if the Quakers are going to go for it on 4th down.
They'll bring out Jaworski, look to flip the field here. Coach Tattersall, a little more conservative.
And Wyatt Nelson's back there at the up back position.
And he's a big high school quarterback, I'm telling you. Jaworski gets the low snap. He gets it off. End over end kick. Going to be taken about the 24-yard line. And breaks the tackle inside the 50 and out of bounds. And they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 46. I believe that was number 2, Michael Brown, on the return.
Great job by the Quakers covering their lanes down the field. A good punt from the Jaworski, but a great return from Lake Forest sets them up in good field position.
3:06 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Lake Forest, they're going to start this drive in Friends territory. The Quakers making the trip down from North Wilmington. So that's talking to coach. They're playing a little mini Henlopen Conference Southern Division schedule this year. Woodbridge last week, Lake Forest this week, and then Delmar down the road in the schedule. Melendez brings the play in from the sideline. 1st and 10 at the Friends 45-yard line. And we're going to have a timeout. I think it's going to be Lake Forest again. So Something didn't look right for Coach Thompson. He's going to take a timeout. So are we. We'll be right back. 0-0 with 3:05 left to play here in the first quarter on your Henley Open Conference Friday night game of the week.
Couldn't be more excited about having our show here held at the Buffalo Wild Wings and Christiana location, and here on Route 7, brand new location. They moved here from Limestone Road, and it's going to be the new home of 302 Sports Week. I'm going to recap some local, college, and professional stuff. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the day, top 5 plays. Here we go. Stanley, your number 1 play from AI, 76-yard punt return. We got ourselves the quality cam here on the sideline. It's awesome to watch from this angle, to be honest with you. And watch, whoa, going up. He went to 4-12. He left the first there at 4-4. I mean, those ups right there. You can't.
And welcome back to Lake Forest High School. Coming off their second timeout already in the first quarter here.
In the pistol formation. Went to a pass last time. Here it is again.
Rolls a little to the left and has a man with a step. He's got it. He's going to take that inside the 10. And looking for a number on the receiver. Your eyes may be a little better than mine, Justin. Looks like number 6 on the catch, Malachi Moore. And that's going to put us in the red zone, brought to you by Lasher's Barbecue. Lasher's Barbecue bringing you the red zone here. First trip to the red zone for either team.
I love the play call from Freddie Johnson. Known for that running game, that's twice in a row, Benny. Important to look for later in the game. Timeout equals a pass. 2 times in a row they went to the pass. In the wheel route and post route, the wheel was open. Great throw from the quarterback.
Full house backfield. Johnson up the middle. He's going to take it down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. It's going to bring up a second and goal.
On the offensive side, inside the 5 now. I'd like to see the read option, almost a speed option outside. Give Galades the ability to also take it himself or also pitch it to his running back.
I believe that's his longest pass of the year this year. He's only got 33 yards passing on the season. He tosses.
Let's start throwing him more. That was a great ball.
He tossed a dime down there, didn't he? Second and goal from the 4-yard line. Isaiah Johnson again up the middle. Touchdown! Lake Forest scores first. It's Isaiah Johnson in the end zone.
Johnson, the power back right there. He takes the inside dive handoff and just muscles his way into the end zone. Great job by Lake Forest, able to score first here.
So 2:14 to go in the first quarter. Lake Forest gets on the board and on to kick. Number 41 kicking. That's Cade Collins. And this is going to be important. They missed these extra points last year and lost 14-12. So big important extra point here for Cade Collins and the Lake Forest Spartans. Snaps a little high, gets the hold down. It's blocked at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be whistled dead. So your score with 2:14 to go here in the first quarter, Lake Forest 6, Wilmington Friends 0. Folks, we'll be right back after this timeout.
Congratulations, Dover Federal, on 60 years in business in Delaware. You've been by our side since our doors opened.
Thank you so much for giving me a call on so many years ago when I had no credit.
You helped our business grow into what it is today.
As a military family, thank you for supporting the financial needs of servicemen and their loved ones.
Happy anniversary, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Happy anniversary, Dover Federal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
And welcome back to Lake Forest. One scored report on the Barkley Heating and Air out-of-town scoreboard from the beach. Dover goes up with a touchdown. They're up 7-0 in the first quarter. Levani Peace on a 7-yard run. The Dover Senators lead 7-0. That's their first score we have here on the Barkley Heating and Air out-of-town scoreboard.
So far, Benny, we talked about the line of scrimmage and for the offensive defensive line, able to take over that so far. And it looks like Lake has the advantage. Let's see what Wilmington Friends can do here on the second drive.
So on the kick is Collins. With the 6-0 lead, we'll see how important that missed extra point was very important last year. See if it cost him again this year. Collins going to kick it. It's going to go. Did it make it to the end zone? We're waiting for a call. And they're going to say kickback. Touchback, excuse me. Kicks it through the end zone. So Wilmington Friends will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And I know last time they looked like they kind of ran the same play 3 times. They ran to the same hole, but unable to get a first down on their first series.
Yeah, it just looked to be a fullback dive almost to the right 3 gap.
Make-A-Wish tonight for the 50-50 raffle tickets. Flag them down. I mean, there's only 3 of them. One of them should be able to say a ticket.
Many of these Wilmington, as you see, a very small roster, and a lot of these guys going both ways for Wilmington Friends, and we'll kind of see how that sorts itself out at the end of the usually around mid-third quarter you start to see that effect. But Wilmington Friends, very disciplined, very, they're a conditioned team.
And that really can hurt a team right there, playing both ways. I mean,
Right.
they're a very well-coached team, so they're definitely conditioned to do it. But how well can this Forest team wear them down to maybe exploit that?
We're week 4 in 70-degree weather, so we should be out of cramp season. 1st and 10 for Wilmington Friends. Wyatt Nelson, 3-step drop, has a man open, in and out of his hands, incomplete.
And going back to playing both offense and defense, back in when I played high school football at Smyrna, we stopped doing that my senior year. Coach Michael Marks came in and said, I can't have all my good wide receivers playing defense. Right. So, and that's why I really think especially at Smyrna team, it really helped them out, be able to practice on both sides of the ball, and really made them dominant over the next few years.
Yeah, they can run position practice for 2 hours as opposed to having to split it up. Here we go, 2nd and 10 for the Quakers at their own 20. Going to come off the left end. Lake Forest sniffs it out. Loss of 3 or 4 on the play. Maybe a loss of 4.
The flag on the field.
And a flag on the play. And I was worried about they were going to use those blue flags. And they are very hard to see. But I'm sitting right next to the clock, man. He'll let me know if there's a flag on the play, I'm sure. It's in the holding area, so we'll – so it's a personal foul on Wilmington Friends, so a loss of 3, and then probably half the distance to the goal here. And this, we talked about this, and we talk about this every time we do Wilmington Friends, is they don't make mistakes. Here they just made a big one.
And that was a big one from one of the guys was a player to watch. It was a DB. I didn't see what happened, but it seemed to be targeting or a late hit on the offensive side.
It's going to put the ball on the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 20.
Let's see what Wilmington Friends wants to do here. If you're going to put it in the hands of your senior quarterback, Wyatt Nelson, or play it safe and work on the ground game.
They got a couple good receivers. Willie Davis, he can get up and down the field. And he does. He drops back, pulls it down, clutches it, picked off the tip. Interception for Lake Forest.
We talked about turnovers, and a great job by Wyatt Nelson. Drop back. Looked like the throw was a little late, but it hit right off the hands of the receiver.
That was Jalen Morris with the pick. I heard some extra whistles, but I don't see any flags on the ground. There's one on the far side. Those light blue flags blend in with the hash marks very well.
I couldn't see it. Only 20/20 vision. A little far away.
Better than mine.
We talked about the turnovers on the pregame on the Lake Forest side, and we said that as the underdog, if you can force 1 or 2, and I thought they had a chance almost to take that to the house.
Yeah, I agree. I had a coach back in the 80s said if you can return if you could score on a special teams or defense, you improve your chance to win the game.
If you score a special teams touchdown, you're most likely going to win.
Right.
I remember back in the playing days down at Sussex Central, wide open interception. Could have ran it back for a touchdown. Went right through my hands. It was their homecoming too. Luckily, that offense we had saved me. But
that was the windy game. That was the crazy
cold game. Yeah, it was their homecoming. I forget what the final score was.
It was close. It was within 10. That was the Nolan Henderson.
That's when he broke out right there. I think that was his first or second game.
Right. So penalty on Lake Forest. 1st and 10 at the Wilmington Friends 31-yard line. 1:53 to play here in the first quarter. They lead 6-0.
Another funny point, Sussex Central also had a running back named Justin Jones.
That's right. That's Zaire Elliott on the carry. Pickup of, call it 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Had to be a tough night for the PA announcer there. Justin Jones on the tackle, Justin Jones on the run. It's Lake Forest got that interception, got pushed back due to the penalty. But let's see if they can push it back into the end zone, Benny. If they can do that, take that 2-score lead.
2nd and 8 for the Spartans. And I'm sure Freddie, he won't mind scoring midway through the second quarter on this drive here. He wants to shorten this game. Both coaches want to do that. Shorten this game, eat up some clock. Galindez under center. And it's going to be Johnson up the middle. Not a whole lot of running room there. I was like maybe pickup of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up 4th and 6 for Lake Forest.
Let's see what Johnson wants to do. The offensive line doing their job. Just, for the Quaker side, they're doing a great job in, tackling Johnson on the first try. He's not breaking many more tackles anymore. But let's see if he goes to the air here. His quarterback had a great job last time on the 3rd down play.
3rd and 6 here for the Spartans. Ball sitting at the 22 of Wilmington Friends.
Like to see a dive up the middle here. Not many men in the middle of the field.
And you guys what you get. And it's going to be Johnson again. Going to take it. Looks like that just outside the 25-yard line. About 15 seconds. We're probably going to see the quarter come to an end. It's going to bring up a 4th and 5.
And I mentioned the timeouts. Last 2 times Johnson's taken timeouts, he's went to the air.
That's right.
Here comes the end of the corner. He's going to have some time to think about it.
Like a timeout. So that's going to take us. That's the end of the first quarter. Your score: Lake Forest 6, Wilmington Friends 0. Folks, we'll be right back with second quarter action.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust. Life's too short.
And welcome back to Felton, James H. Blade Stadium. Here at Lake Forest High School, the Spartans leading 6-0. Couple updates on the Barclay Heating and Air out-of-town scoreboard. Sussex Central 14, Cesar Rodney 7, first quarter. Cape and Lopin 7, or excuse me, Dover 7, Cape and Lopin 0.
I think they just announced throughout the stadium, too.
Yes. Sally's leads Smyrna 7-6. I think that's going to be a great game up there tonight in Smyrna. 7-6. That's your Barclays Heating and Air out-of-town scoreboard.
Remember that shootout a few years back? I believe it was up at Sally's.
Like 2,000 yards in the game or something crazy like that. Will Knight and Colby Reeder and Nolan Henderson. It had to look like a tennis match. Heads going back and forth. Here we go. 4th and 5. Galindez is going to roll right. And now he's going to reverse his field, come back the other way. The two
got some room.
Player, he does have some room. Inside the 20, inside the 15. And he's going to take down we're going to mark him at the 16-yard line. Galindez able to work reverse field, but what happened in his favor is the two Friends players ran into one another and just left him some open green.
Yeah, as a defense coordinator, you hate to see that. You got Lake Forest on 4th down after you just do an interception, and then the quarterback makes a great play in Damian Galindez. I mean, on 4th down, that's what you need your quarterback there for, and comes all the way across the field and able to get down for first down.
A little bit of Fran Tarkenton-ish running there, reversing that field, or we could say now Nolan Henderson.
Yeah.
The way he's playing at the University of Delaware. 1st and goal. We are in the in the Blashers Barbecue red zone. Ball at the 16.
motion.
And look like no gain on the play. Maybe an inch or so. Let's go bring up second. Second down. And there we go. Your red zone brought to you by Lasher's Barbecue.
Like what Lake Forest has done so far here this evening through the first quarter, really have dominated this game. And they haven't really broke anything open yet either. I mean, you haven't seen Isaiah Johnson break 5-6 tackles and go 60 yards.
The one long pass play, and that was about it. Second, and actually they're going to give him a loss on the play. 2nd and 11. Looking at the yard marker. Here's the keeper. Pitches. That's out to number 24, Elliott, and he's going to get down close to the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
And with this Lake Forest offense, I love those speed options that you have the ability to pitch it. I mean, Galindez, we've seen what he's been able to do as he dropped back on that last time. But now you have him out there and also a running back with some speed and power.
3rd down from the 11. It's going to be about a 3rd and 5 for Lake Forest. And, again, they're taking their time on another drive. Down under 10 minutes already here, and they drive started in the first quarter. Full house backfield split to the right. Glendez hands off to Johnson, follows his blockers, nowhere to go, and he's going to be maybe a gain of 1, if that, on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
And you see that power there. We've got the 2 running backs in the backfield able to try to clear up the hole. Nothing there, but I'd like to see Freddie Johnson go with the QB keeper there maybe on this 4th down play. Have Galindez roll out right, or roll out left, I should say. Seen his ability to run so far. Here comes a big 4th down.
And on comes Cade Collins to kick the extra point. And we said that was the strength of Wilmington Friends. But I was watching Collins when we got here. It was no pads, no rush, but he was kicking them well from 45.
And that last PAT was blocked by the Quakers.
This is going to be a 28-yarder. It's up. It's good. So Lake Forest is going to take a 9-0 lead. And we're going to take a timeout with 8:48 left to play here in the second quarter. Lake Forest 9. Wilmington Friends 0. We'll be right back, folks.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com.
And we have an update down at the beach on your Barclays out of town scoreboard. Barclay Heating and Air. It's Dover 21, Cape and Lopin 7 with a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Dover hung half 100 last week on Northeast, and they've got 21 up on the board right now. Cape's going to have to play in a shootout with those guys because that offense is just, it can catch fire.
And that's the thing with that offense. You're in week 3, week 4 now, and so the offense starting to click. Let's see if Cape can, catch back up to him.
Right.
I want to fall back.
One thing Dover does, they have let up points this year. In 2 games, they've allowed 40 points. So Cape's got to get back in. Cade Collins on the kick. He kicks again back towards the corner. And this one's going to have to be picked up around the 4-yard line. And going to get it out across the 15, shy of the 20, where it's going to be first down for the Quakers with 8:42 to go. Not really urgent time right now, but they might want to take a drive and at least get some sort of score here before we go to halftime.
Yeah, as an offense, usually try to script plays, but, for Wilmington Friends, really have not got any momentum on the offensive side. I don't believe they have a first down yet. It was a great pass last time from Wyatt Nelson, just hit the receiver right in the hands and bounced off.
Right, picked off by number 7, Jalen Morris. So here we go, ball at their own 17-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Quakers. It's going to be a handoff to Dixon. It looks like maybe a yard on the play, a little more than a yard. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
And also for Wilmington Friends, like you mentioned, they're going to try to take some time off this clock. This Lake Forest offense looks pretty good so far, but for Friends, they're just going to have to worry about getting a first down first.
2nd and 9 for the Quakers. Handoff off the left side. Now it's going to be a keeper by Wyatt Nelson. He's going to get it out across the 25, close to the first down. Tackle made by Chris Thompson. We talked about him as one of our players to watch.
I believe on the offensive side, Wyatt Nelson could be a difference maker in this game. We know he can throw the ball, Benny, but also in the run game, lowering her shoulder, running someone over.
6'2", 220 in open field, it's hard to bring down. Especially you're talking about a Division I athlete. Granted, it's baseball, but an athlete's an athlete. You know, he's going to be a hard guy to bring down. 3rd and 1 for the Quakers. Ball at their own, we'll call it 28-yard line. Goes with a hard count off the left side. Out to Dixon, and it looks like he has enough for the first down. Pick up a maybe 2 on the play. And they do get the first down. So that's what their first down of the game here at 7:03 to play in the second quarter.
And on offense, you'd like to try to get 1 or 2 just so you don't your team doesn't really stall out. Let's see if they go to the air. There's 3 straight runs right there.
Yeah, I would kind of like to see them maybe on first down go to the air with Wyatt Nelson. He's got a couple good targets. He's got number 6, Davis, and Williams both have catches on the season. And it's going to be
a lot of space.
Yeah, that's not ball. Oh, I thought I saw the ball on the ground. That's number 44 on the carry.
Looks to be 14.
14, Cole Opperbeck.
Man, they did not help us out with these jerseys tonight.
No, and the tinted window is not helping either. And I don't have great eyesight to begin with, so I'm going to have to start bringing binoculars. Clock running down under 6.5 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for the Quakers. And like we said, not urgent yet, but I would think Coach Tassau would like to get a score here before the half.
And they get the ball to start the second half. Trying to steal the momentum back in their favor.
Out to Opperbeck. He's got some running on the right side. He's going to get it across midfield for another Quaker first down. Tackle made by 51, Zach Kennedy.
You see that block from Manny Adibi, the tackle? He pulled the tackle in the pitch play, and he caught a D-backer, a linebacker in the open space, and he had no shot, but it opened up a giant hole for the running back, able to get another first down for this Quakers offense.
Ball across for the first time tonight in Lake Forest territory at the Lake Forest 47. 1st and 10 for the Quakers. Looks like they found something off this right side here that they like twice they've been out here with a pitch and a counter. Full house back here for the Quakers, double tight end. It's going to be number 20 guys on the carry. Got some running room, has enough for the first down, and takes it across the 40 down to the 36-yard line.
Great job by Sam, guys. Following the blocks. You see sometimes running backs get a little jumpy and antsy. They outrun their blockers. He stayed right behind his fullback, and he followed him. Able to get a nice gain of 10 on the outside run.
Another first down. That's 3 in a row for the Quakers on 3 plays. About ready to go under 5 minutes here in the course. They're chewing up some clock, taking a long drive. And staying right with that two tight end, full house backfield. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's Dixon this time, and he's got another Wilmington Friends. But they're saying, Lake Forest saying the ball's on the ground. And it did. Another turnover by Wilmington Friends. Second of the game. That ends the drive.
And Dixon right there, Anthony Dixon, the senior, making a costly mistake for the Quakers. That's second turnover already by 2 seniors for this Quakers team. Lake Forest just hanging on right now, stealing the momentum.
On a team that doesn't actually do this. You know, they don't have penalties. They don't turn the ball over a lot, and they've had 2 big penalties and 2 turnovers in this game. So 1st and 10 for Lake Forest. 4:45 to play here in the first half. Now Lake Forest going full house backfield.
Melendez under center. Hand off to Johnson.
As Johnson up the middle. Gain of maybe a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd and 9.
Like the handoff to Johnson. Great job by the Quakers defense, able to stuff him. We talked about his ability to break tackles. That's going to become important here in the second half, especially with this Quakers defense and offense who are starting to get a little tired, I believe, from playing both ways.
Give them a gain of 2 on the play, 2nd and 8. Approaching 4 minutes to play here in the half. A little miscommunication on how they won the line up. Glendale gets his players back where they need to be. Johnson again. And maybe a yard on the carry. Brings up 3rd and 7. I think, though, even more importantly for Coach Freddie Johnson, he's now got the clock under the 4 minutes to play here in the half.
I think you're going to start seeing these outside runs. They're starting to stuff Johnson in the middle. And you're right, for Freddie Johnson, under 4 minutes, 4-minute offense. Try to get down back in the scoring position, maybe get a field goal, or just play keep away with this dangerous Quakers offense.
3rd and 7 for Lake Forest. They break the huddle. And this time they're going to go back to that double wing veer. Well, looks like maybe a little trips on the right side. And Glendale drops back right into a pistol. And he's under pressure by Wyatt Nelson. Eludes him. And he's going to tuck it and run. Gets it out across the 35. He's out of bounds. But that's a Lake Forest first down.
That's dangerous.
3:10 to play, yeah.
That's dangerous right there for the Quakers defense. Played man across the board, but they brought an extra blitzer, brought 6 guys on the blitz. And that leaves, if Damian Galindez can get away from that one defender,
right.
He has a lot of room out in front of him.
And that one defender was Wyatt Nelson. He had a beeline on him, but Galindez able to elude him and get the first down. Ball out of bounds at his own 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Now you're Freddie Johnson. You might think, hey, 3 minutes to go. I'm at midfield. Let's go for a drive.
Quakers still with 3 timeouts.
And that's Johnson. Got some running room. Takes it out. Crossed the 50. First down for the Spartans. And now there's your breaking tackles, and maybe not breaking away, but breaks a tackle and picks up 11.
And that wears down on the defense. Having a running back burst right through the middle, and no defensive back wants to meet Isaiah Johnson in the open field when he has a full head of steam.
Oh, and then Johnson in the backfield. Glendale's under center, wide to both sides. First down for the Spartans. It's going to be Johnson again. He's picking some spots now. He's going to take it close to a first down. Got 9 on the play, brings up a 2nd and 1.
I think the Quakers have to go back to that 4-man front on the defensive line. It really stopped them on the first 2 plays of this drive. Since then, they moved back to the 3-man defensive line and 2 outside DNs or linebackers, whatever you want to call them.
They're going to call it a gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2 at the 42 of Wilmington Friends. Johnson again off the right side. He's got enough for the first down. Going to pick up about 3 on the play. First down, Spartans.
And I like the play call on the offensive side, but on the defense, it's really tough for the Quakers. If they miss that first tackle, there's really not anyone in the second level.
Right.
On the defensive side, you see when they line up right here, a lot of their guys are on the line of scrimmage. So if the offense perfects its blocks, I mean, the next guy in line to tackle him is going to be a safety or a corner. Usually just that one linebacker.
And that's a big body to bring down, too, for a free safety. 1st and 10 for Lake Forest.
Dixon, the only linebacker over top to center right now.
Johnson again, he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe, no gain on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Look like a Debbie on the tackle.
Only minute 25 seconds left in this first half. Let's see if Johnson tries to speed up the offense. Already used 2 of his timeouts, only down to 1.
Coming up to the half, we'll have the Arenas Deli halftime stats. As soon as Dave Marble gets them added up. And we're going to probably see a lot of Isaiah Johnson in this first half stats for Lake Forest. 2nd and 10 for the Spartans. And it's going to be a pitch to the backfield. He was trapped. And Elliott's going to get what he can out of it. Loss of 1 on the play.
And for
third and 11.
Glendez, my bad about that, Benny.
That's right.
For Glendez, on that pitch play, you kind of want to draw the defender in. I felt like he pitched it a little too early right there. If he takes another 1 or 2 steps inside, he'll be able to draw the defenders in before he can pitch it outside.
We got a timeout taken here. We're going to stay with the action by Freddie Johnson. And I noticed that in the Polytech game, and we've noticed here a little bit tonight. Glendez kind of like he's playing hot potato with that ball. You're right. He doesn't let that suck in. He gets rid of it right away.
And it's a little nervous for us in up here because it looks like it doesn't really look not perfect, but it's not flow. It doesn't look very flow like he's done it for a while. But, I mean, it's working so far. They're driving on this drive, and I think his ability to run the ball has been the big difference maker so far.
Couple scores on the Barclay Hingham out-of-town scoreboard. Dover 21, Cape 0. Indian River 15, Seaford 6. William Penn 14, Appoquinimink 0. Appoquinimic's a team I think we're going to start finding out who they really are. They went down, they beat Cesar Rodney handily in week 1. Took a loss to Sally's last week and now losing to William Penn. So we're going to see, I think week 4, week 5, we're going to start to see everything take shape.
That's a tough schedule to start off your year
right.
too. In that
Loss
pistol formation.
Of 2 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 12, and they are in the pistol. A little bit of the trips to the right. Melendez takes the snap, looks down the left side, and looking for number 7. Jalen Morris comes back. Oh, win now, bounces off the hands. It's going to bring up a 4th and 12, a little bit outside the range of their field goal kicker.
Flag on the field.
Flag on the play, and thank you, they used a yellow one, but it's going to be a hold on Lake Forest.
See what the Quakers decide to do, if they're going to accept it. Move to 3rd down and roughly 22.
Well, Freddie Johnson, he's going to go for it on 4th down here. So I'd take the penalty and make him get 22 yards as opposed to 12.
I like what Glendez was able to do there. It's drop back in the pocket, seemed calm, delivered a ball that gave his receiver a chance.
And that's going to be a spot foul. So that 10 yards is going to come from the 47-yard line. So one of the harder, when you hold in the backfield, that's a tough one. It's a spot foul. And
I know you don't want to use your trick plays too early or show your hand, but you mentioned that hook and ladder.
Yeah.
You said it was picked off last week.
It was Wilmington Friends.
Wilmington Friends?
Yeah.
Maybe Lake Forest might steal it out of their own playbook,
right.
Use it against them.
Or just taking a 9-0 lead at the half.
Smart as well.
But he's got a 3rd down here. And a counter coming back with Alwyn. And he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. That's 77, Manny Adebi again. And timeout. And they haven't directed who called it.
Looks like
got a penalty on the play. Illegal shift is declined. 4th down. So no timeout on the play. The whistle was on the penalty. And on the punt, Jalen Morris, number 7. And let's see who's going back deep. That's 6. Is that 6 or 2 for the Spartans or for Quakers?
Looks to be 4.
4.
Right in the middle.
Stephen Williams. It's going to be a timeout for Wilmington Friends. We're going to take one with them, folks. We'll be right back with the final 18 seconds of the first half.
Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian.
And we're back here in Felton. Lake Forest to punt it away. Jalen Morris back deep. Number 4, Stephen Williams standing by his own 15-yard line. 29 seconds to play here in the half. Lake Forest leads 9-0.
He's standing at the 1st down right now.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a fake. And maybe because of the high snap, but Jalen Morris takes inside the 50, the 45 to the 40. Not enough for the 1st down. But takes 19 seconds off the clock.
Wonder if Freddie Johnson called the fake there or if it was just a bad snap, took off.
Not sure if that was a fire or not.
Works just as good as a punt, though, almost about 30 yards.
He had to get up to get that snap. But that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Quakers And the ball will be spotted at their own 39-yard line.
It's going to be important to see what the Quakers do here with 20 seconds left. I believe they have 2 timeouts left.
Yep.
And you're going to put it in the hands of your senior quarterback or maybe just take the 9-0 deficit into half.
Because you're getting the ball to start the third quarter of the second half. Third quarter, that's where a lot of these.
Seniors wearing gray, juniors white, sophomores.
The quarterback went over and said something to the referee. I don't know if he was telling him he was taking a knee or not.
And staff's just wearing the old school gold and baby blue.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. I think Nelson's going to take a knee here.
Nelson,
and he does.
Takes a knee.
So we'll let the final 20 seconds reel off. And we'll get ready for our Sodell Concepts halftime show. Brought to you by Sodell Concepts. 10 restaurants, a food truck, and a catering business along the culinary coast. Sodell Concepts. And so there were seconds on the board, folks. That's the end of the first half. The score, Lake Forest 9, Wilmington Friends 0. Folks, we'll be right back with the Arenas Deli halftime stats.
Of Sodell in Sport. Today I'm here with Scott Kammerer. Scott is our fearless leader. He is the president of Sodell Concepts. Scott, can you tell everyone a little bit about what you do here?
Thanks for having me, Nelia. So I'm the president of the company. So I do a lot of public relations. I help make decisions on the where we're going to go, what we're going to open, and I set a lot of policies. And basically I feel like I'm the leader of the company, and I help set the direction for how we can be successful in the future.
Okay, great. And so Scott was a big athlete in high school and college. He was really involved in wrestling. Scott, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. So I was a New Jersey wrestling state champ. I'm in the New Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame. I wrestled in college. I was a multiple-time All-American growing up through the years. I was actually I won 2 matches my freshman year. I was 500 my sophomore year, and then my junior and senior year, I had a really good run. And because of those accomplishments, I was elected to New Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame. And wrestling really changed my life. I was one of those kids that really didn't have a lot of direction, and the principal told me I can go to detention every day, or I could go to wrestling practice. And I was one of those people that I devoted my whole life to wrestling. I wrote out a plan. I practiced really day and night. I would stay late, I would get up early, and I went to any means necessary to be a champion. So that's kind of what my high school career was.
And so can you talk a little bit about having that experience and that mindset has helped you in what you're doing now?
Sure. I was also a football player in high school, and I was an All-American high school football player. I was Player of the Year in New Jersey, and the dedication that it takes to be part of a team, to be a cog in the machine, to be part of something that was really successful. I played on a couple nationally ranked teams, and I feel like those lessons come through today. We always deal with adversity here at Sodell Concepts. We always have setbacks, but we always fight hard, we always train hard, and we're always looking for a better day. And I feel sports is almost exactly what we're doing. I feel like sometimes I'm the coach of a team, and when it comes to Sodell Concepts and the restaurants, we've been fortunate enough to win a lot of awards. So a lot of what we do is try and stay on top and stay relevant and stay important. So I feel that sports is really the biggest correlation between what we're doing today and what I did all through my high school and college career.
I think like it really is a testimony to the company that we do have so many former athletes here. It's just those kinds of people kind of come together later on. And
yeah, I feel like athletes get it, and football players get it, wrestlers get it, and all the athletes that we've been with over the years, they really understand what it is to be part of a team. It's not about who you are.
Right, it's not about you.
And I think that people realize the sacrifice that it takes to be successful. I think anybody can want to be great, but those who have the will to prepare and those that persevere and don't give up, those are the ones that are successful. And I think that's one of the things that we have going for us at Sodell Concepts.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Scott, for talking to us today. Nelia Dolan, Sodell in Sports. Thanks for watching, and keep playing.
Thanks.
Scott Kammerer. Scott is our fearless leader. He is the president of Sodell Concepts. Scott, can you tell everyone a little bit about what you do here?
Thanks for having me, Nelia. So I'm the president of the company. So I do a lot of public relations. I help make decisions on the where we're going to go, what we're going to open, and I set a lot of policies. And basically, I feel like I'm the leader of the company, and I help set the direction for how we can be successful in the future.
Okay, great. And so Scott was a big athlete in high school and college. He was really involved in wrestling. Scott, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. So I was Jersey Wrestling State Champ. I'm in the New Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame. I wrestled in college. I was a multiple-time All-American growing up through the years. I was actually, I won 2 matches my freshman year. I was 500 my sophomore year. And then my junior and senior year, I had a really good run. And because of those accomplishments, I was elected to the New Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame. And wrestling really changed my life. I was one of those kids that really didn't have a lot of direction, and the principal told me I can go to detention every day or I could go to wrestling practice. And I was one of those people that I devoted my whole life to wrestling. I wrote out a plan. I practiced really day and night. I would stay late, I would get up early, and I went to any means necessary to be a champion. So that's kind of what my high school career was.
And so can you talk a little bit about having that experience and that mindset has helped you in what you're doing now?
Sure. I was also a football player in high school, and I was an All-American high school football player. I was Player of the Year in New Jersey, and the dedication that it takes to be part of a team, to be a cog in the machine, to be part of something that was really successful. I played on a couple nationally ranked teams, and I feel like those lessons come through today. We always deal with adversity here at Sodell Concepts. We always have setbacks, but we always fight hard, we always train hard, and we're always looking for a better day. And I feel sports is almost exactly what we're doing. I feel like sometimes I'm the coach of a team, and when it comes to Sodell Concepts and the restaurants, we've been fortunate enough to win a lot of awards, so a lot of what we do is try and stay on top and stay relevant and stay important. So I feel that sports is really the biggest correlation between what we're doing today and what I did all through my high school and college career.
I think like it really is a testimony to the company that we do have so many former athletes here. It's just those kinds of people kind of come together later on. And
yeah, I feel like athletes get it, and football players get it, wrestlers get it, and all the athletes that we've been with over the years, they really understand what it is to be part of the team. It's not about who you are.
Right, it's not about you.
And I think that people realize the sacrifice that it takes to be successful. I think anybody can want to be great, but those who have the will to prepare and those that persevere and don't give up, those are the ones that are successful. And I think that's one of the things that we have going for us at Sodell Concepts.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Scott, for talking to us today. Nelia Dolan, Sodell and Sports. Thanks for watching, and keep playing.
Thanks. I'm Scott Kammerer of Sodell Concepts. We have 8 locations, a catering company and a food truck right here on the Culinary Coast in southern Delaware, and we'd love to see you at one of our locations. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue in downtown Rehoboth, serving homemade pasta. Papa Grande's in downtown Rehoboth. Our treetop deck has the best happy hour around. And Matt's Fish Camp, located on Route 1 in North Bethany Beach, your classic seafood shack. At Sodell, we believe in beautiful, simple food and making the world a better place. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Concepts.
And I'm Matt Patton from Fish On in Lewis.
We'd love to see you at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out.
At Fish On, we are committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a casual atmosphere, complete with a happening bar and outdoor patio dining. House specialties include shrimp and grits, maple glazed salmon, along with traditional seafood favorites like fish and chips, and crowd pleasers like our short rib burger with bacon tomato jam.
Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points in Lewis, Delaware. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts.
And I'm Matt Patton from Fish On in Lewis.
We'd love to Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Sodell Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the Culinary Coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Sodell Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Sodell Concepts on the Culinary Coast with 10 locations from Lewis, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out. Soto Concepts.
And I'm Lauren from Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware.
Come visit us at Catch 54 overlooking the water in beautiful Fenwick Island, Delaware. See you soon.
At Catch 54, we are committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a beautiful setting overlooking the bay. We have great nightly specials throughout the second season and serve a great happy hour every day, all year.
Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Open 7 days a week year-round. Come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts.
And I'm Lauren from Catch 54.
At Capstone Homes, we believe your new home should be designed and inspired by you. Our comprehensive new home experience will give you peace of mind. We have in-house design and drafting, selection centers, and model homes throughout Sussex County so you can experience different layouts. And a terrific team that takes an amazing amount of pride in each and every home we build. Create your new home. Create a Capstone home.
Welcome back to Lake Forest High School. We're at James H. Blades Stadium as the Lake Forest band's leaving the field. It's time for our Arenas Deli halftime stats. All totaled up by our stat man, Dave Marvel. We thank him each week. Gives us a little something to talk about for 5 minutes. Appreciate all he does for us. Helps us pick those players of the game, too. So let's start. 57 total yards for the Quakers, all of them on the ground. Limited to 4 first downs, but huge, the 2 turnovers.
Yeah, the turnovers were big. They really stopped their drives, and the one, it was the second down for the Quakers on towards the right side of the field, and it ended up being that pick that dropped off the hands of the receiver. And the second one was that fumble in the middle of the field that really hurt them. They were starting to drive. You felt the momentum going over to the Quakers, and then Lake Forest made a big play.
For Lake Forest, 169 yards of total offense in the first half, 40 of it in the air. We'll talk about that in a minute. 129 yards rushing, 8 first downs, no turnovers. And I think those are the 2 categories we want to look at here is no passing yards for Wilmington Friends, 40 for Lake Forest, no turnovers for Lake Forest, 2 for the Quakers. I think that's the difference in this 9-0 game right now.
Lake Forest has done so far in the first half what they need to do to come away with a victory. But they need to have a strong second half. And for Wilmington Friends, they get the ball to start the second half off. They have plenty of time. They just need to have a good drive on the first one. But we talked about it. Wyatt Nelson, we thought he was going to come in here and sling the ball around on the defensive backs for Lake Forest. But, 0 for 2, and 1 interception has really been the game changer so far.
Scoring in the game tonight is Isaiah Johnson. He scores a touchdown with 2:14 left in the first quarter, and then with 8:48 left in the second quarter, Cade Collins kicks a field goal. It's 9-0. Let's talk about some individual stats. More for William. More for Jalen Moore. Excuse me. Has the 1 catch for 40 yards. Johnson, 17 carries, 54 yards. Galindez, 3 carries, 36. Opterbeck for Wilmington Friends, 2 carries for 23. And Dixon, 7 for 15. The quarterbacks, Galindez, 1 of 3 for 40. Nelson, 0 for 2 with 1 interception. And that's your Arena Delis halftime stats brought to you by Arena's Delis. They're all over the state. And thank you to Dave Marvel for getting those stats up for us here at halftime. Coming up late in the third quarter, we'll have the Jawan Johnson State Farm trivia question in the postgame. The Active Pest Solutions Pest of the Game and the Louis Pizza Player of the Game coming up at the end of the game. Some more scores on our Barclay Heating and Air out-of-town scoreboard. Sussex Central 21, Cesar Rodney 7, Dover 28, Cape Henlopen 0, Delaware Military Academy 28-0 over St. Elizabeth's. That's our upstate game of the week. William Penn leads Apo 14-7. I think I had Sally's 10-6, but I heard it's now Smyrna 12-10 over the Slazam. Could Smyrna back-to-back weeks knock off the number 1 team in the state? They're headed that way right now with a 2-point lead.
They could. That's a tough team right there in Smyrna. It takes them some time usually in the beginning of the year, and you see knocking off Central last week and also having a good first half against Sally's this week. They definitely have the ability to, Benny, but we'll see if they can keep that up.
I went with my picks. I did go with Sally's. I thought it'd be a tough chore. I thought they got a little peek of what Smyrna wanted to do, and I thought that would help.
You're always going with the away teams, man. You got to stick to that home field advantage on these Friday nights.
You're right. It's the analytics. I just go with the analytics, Whatever that really means. I think it says analytics is a term for I was wrong. Benny Mitchell here with Justin Jones on his debut with 302 Sports. Glad to have him because he comes with a whole lot of experience. Watched a lot of his clips down at Lynchburg College, doing some sideline interviews, doing a little bit of softball play-by-play. So it has to be kind of fun getting into a sport that you actually played now.
And that was the one thing at Lynchburg. I was always, I guess, a little nervous going into it, but football is one of the sports where I felt like I had the most IQ, and a sport I played for a while to go along with baseball and wrestling. And I've always wanted to do football, and thank you for allowing me to join you here tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you, you say wrestling, I'll be calling you because I have a hard time finding people in Kent County. And then when you're going to talk about doing the match of the week in the state of Delaware, that's Kent County. That means Cesar Rodney. That means, Smyrna. Those are the top teams in the state. So, we end up covering them a lot. But I don't want to not mention my alma mater, Sussex Central, one of the top 5 teams in the state. We get down there a little bit, too. A little easier to grab guys in Sussex County to talk some wrestling with me. Under 2 minutes to go here in the half. We're going to stick right here. 9-0 Lake Forest, and I think maybe some people around the state are a little surprised by this. I mean, Lake Forest didn't have the 3 toughest games coming in with Polytech, Newark, and Tatnall, but they're proving right now. This is a statement game, week 4 here for Lake Forest, and I think everything, if this holds off, they're making a statement right now.
Yeah, without a doubt, and even if something happens and Wilmington Friends comes back, they can show that they can dominate a good team like this, and they have dominated so far in the first half. As you can see, the offense and defensive line they have dominated. Wilmington Friends really has not been able to do much on the offensive side of the ball, only 4 first downs on 4 drives. And then on the other hand, on the offensive side of the ball, you see Isaiah Johnson, 17 carries, and we're going to see probably just as much here in the second half as well.
Yeah, I would say when you have a kid like Isaiah Johnson, he carries the ball 30-plus, 35 times a game. And you might even see more than that tonight because he had 17 in the first half. And I think if Wilmington Friends doesn't score on this opening drive, you're going to see a whole lot of Isaiah Johnson from here on out.
And that's when the defense needs to step up. If the Lake Forest offense isn't on the field, Isaiah Johnson can't touch the ball.
That's right.
So that's going to be key for Wilmington Friends here to start off the second half is have that good drive, maybe back them up into their own 10-yard line, or what you're dreaming of is going down the field and scoring. And we got to see if the senior quarterback and Wyatt Nelson can do that for this team.
Folks, Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock, join us at Buffalo Wild Wings as we bring you the 302 Sports Weekly. And Sussex Tech and Sussex Central coming up week 7. We're going to be in Rehoboth Beach for the Battle of Georgetown. We'll have our show right there at the Rehoboth Beach Buffalo Wild Wings when the Knights and the Ravens Wednesday night before their big kickoff, the Battle of Georgetown, which will be brought to you presented by Capstone Homes. More on that in the coming weeks. So here we go. There's the siren off the scoreboard. Lake Forest will be kicking it off to the Quakers. And, we saw Lake Forest really got it moving there at the end of the second quarter, Justin, and then a fumble stops the drive. Let's see if they can put that drive back together again.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Quakers offense try to move the ball, and I think you got to give it to your senior here. It's drop back and pass. He's done a nice job so far. The interception coming off tipped ball, but I think overall, watching the highlights, and he's very accurate. And I think if you can get him outside the pocket, he'll have the ability to either throw the ball down the field or he can take off and use his legs.
Here we go. Cade Collins to kick it off here to start the second half. Third quarter, always a big quarter in any kind of football, but especially high school football. Who can come out of the half? And the kick is deep into the corner, and it's going to go out of bounds. That's going to be an illegal procedure on the Spartans.
I believe that's only the second or third penalty.
Yeah, it's been a very clean game. And I said Lake Forest needs to play a clean game, and they pretty much have. This is a kickoff penalty, so.
Doesn't hurt too much, but at the end of the day, overall in that first half, they did a nice job. Not a great start here, but let's see if this defense can buckle down and slow down this Quakers offense.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. is where Wilmington Friends will start.
You mentioned a big quarter here. Coaches have got their adjustments in. They've talked to their players. Let's see what they come out with on this first play.
Nelson under center for Wilmington Friends.
And it's going to be a handoff. I believe that's Dixon. He gets it out across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play, brings up 2nd and 3. Now they're going to say gain of 6, move the ball back. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Great job by the offensive line there for the Quakers. They were able to get that first push off, open up a hole for Anthony Dixon. He does have that one fumble when they were driving down last time. Good job by the coaching staff giving him the ball again, giving him a little confidence.
Yes, this time it's going to be Dixon again. He's got a first down for the Quakers, and this is how they were going in that second quarter. And like we said, it was just a fumble by Dixon, but now they're back to midfield. 1st and 10, they're moving the chains.
And on that dive play by Dixon, I think if he would have cut it back towards the middle of the field, there's a wide open lane. End up getting tackled by the Lake Forest defense, but
well, watch this line play, a little more of this play. Looks like Wilmington Friends is doing a good job of getting to that secondary block, getting to those linebackers. 1st and 10 at the 50 for the Quakers. And that's going to be guys wrapped up in the backfield and a whole herd of Spartans get over there.
And that's what you don't want to have on first down. Losing yards to getting yourself behind those chains.
Loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15. Nathan McGray on the tackle. This is his first year of football, Justin. Starting on both sides of the ball.
And it's amazing what he can do. It's a nice job right there. He's able to get his hands up there to shed the defender and also tackle the speedy Wise in the backfield.
He's also got a catch on the season, so getting him in on the offense this year too. Normally I believe he's a catcher on the baseball team. 2nd and 15 for the Quakers at their own 45-yard line. And Noah Nelson drops back, looks right, has a man open, tipped and not gone to the ground. Tipped by number 6, William Davis. Incomplete pass, 3rd and 15.
Great ball there from the quarterback and Wyatt Nelson. But also we talked about the pressure. Lake Forest needed to get the pressure on Nelson. And it looked like Nelson right there, instead of stepping into that throw, almost tried to throw it off his back foot. And I think caused an incompletion. He didn't really face much pressure in earlier weeks. Now he's starting to see it here against this Lake Forest defense.
I'm not sure who he was, because they had another receiver somewhat open a little further down. I don't know if he was trying to get it to him or not. Davis got up and got his fingers on it. 3rd and 15 for the Quakers.
Looks like a blitz is coming from.
Under center looking to pass. With pressure, gets the pass.
And he throws under pressure, has a man open. In and out of his hands, rolls out of bounds. 4th and 15, so Quakers not able to come out. They had a good start, and then 2 incomplete passes, and then they're punting it away.
And I think that's one you got to catch. That's one of those 50-50 balls that you need to bring down. Looked like a perfect ball from Nelson. Looked like it was over the back shoulder of the receiver.
I saw that same exact play last year against Woodbridge in the regular season game where he hit Davis in stride for a touchdown.
And that was William Davis. And if they could have caught that right there, it really could have broke open this game.
Gets the ball off. And going to take it about the 15-yard line, goes right to his knees, and that's where they're going to take over. 1st and 10 for Lake Forest. Folks, look who scores on your Barkley Heating and Air out-of-town scoreboard. Smyrna up 12-10 on Slazanum, the number 1 team in the state. Dover has got the running clock. They lead Cape and Lopin 35-0. St. George's 20, Caravel 12, Sussex Central 21, Cesar Rodney 7. Those are your Barkley Heating and Air out-of-town scoreboard.
Well, I can almost bet what this play call is going to be. I would go with the fullback dive.
Yeah, which side? I say right side.
A lot of space on the left, but I think they go right.
Lake Forest 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. 10:02 to play in the third quarter. And they're Johnson and breaks the tackle, pushes the pile, and he's going to get it out across the 20. And let's see where the referee ends up.
Which looks to be about a 7-yard gain.
Yep, 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3 for the Spartans. And just how they want to start this second half.
And I think at one point you're going to have to do the naked bootleg with the quarterback in Galanez. because all that pressure's coming in, and if he pulls it, he's going to have a lot of space.
Well, you got that. Also, you got that counter with Alwyn that went for a big play earlier in the first quarter.
Staying in front of the chains, though. Nice gain of 7 or 8. Makes it second and short.
Johnson again breaks a tackle, puts his head down, gets the first down. 1st and 10 for Lake Forest. Ball out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line.
If you're Freddie Johnson, you got to love the way this kid runs the ball. Head down and running over a defender. He's not scared of contact at all.
1st and 10 for the Lake Forest Spartans. 3-0 coming into this tonight's game.
I think for Wilmington Friends on the defensive side, they didn't make that adjustment to go back to that 4-down lineman.
Yeah, you're right. We talked about that right before the half when Lake Forest was driving down for that field goal. Back to the veer with Johnson alone in the backfield. Motion comes to this side, and it's going to be this time Johnson left side. Not as much room. He gets it out to about the 30. He's going to have a gain of, call it 1 on the play, 2nd and 9. So 3 carries already for him here to start the third quarter. Gives him 20 on the game. We said probably looking at 35 or more carries for him tonight.
Let's see if this Quakers defense can stop him. If they can keep him off the field, they have a shot. Able to get a nice stop on 1st down. Makes it 2nd and long. Probably go right back to that fullback dive. Maybe that counter you mentioned, though.
Right, with Alwyn. And they like to run to the short side of the field on those outside plays. Motion comes to this side, and it's going to be option. Melendez with some running room, but gets it out to about the 35, just across, call it the 36.
Smart move there from Melendez.
Just get down, yes.
Get what you need. You got about 4 or 5 yards. Makes it 3rd and short.
3rd and 3 as opposed to, a 3rd and 7.
That really just opens up the playbook for your offense coordinator, your head coach. Instead of, maybe having to pass the ball, you can, give it to one of your running backs in open space and even make it almost 4-down territory. We saw it on that first drive. They went for it at their own 25, right here at the 35. May see it if they can't get a 1st down here.
3rd and 3 for the Spartans. They might be changing the play. Alwyn moves into the backfield. Wilmington Friends bringing pressure off the right side. Johnson on the carry. He's going to be shy of the 1st down.
It was a great read from the linebacker with Sam Guys. As he timed the snap count, ran right through where the pulling guard was going and almost blew up that play in the backfield. Makes it 4th and short, though.
4th and 1 here for Lake Forest. With a 9-0 lead, Freddie Johnson's not going to do it. I said, you flip the field because your defense is playing so well so far.
And I think I would almost go with a QB sneak here. It looks like that the defense has a 4-down lineman, but it leaves that A-gap wide open. Right. The center can make the block. Quarterback only needs about a yard, maybe a half a yard for a 1st down.
Melendez breaks the huddle. Wide to both sides, wing on this near side, and it's going to be Johnson, and he puts his head down. He's got the 1st down out to about the 40 and just knocks, like a bowling ball, knocks pins over.
Yeah, you saw a bunch of guys going down right there. But a nice job by the offensive line, knowing you only need a yard. Right before that play, I think the right guard was on the opposite side of the center, and the left guard couldn't see the number who it was, pushed him over to the right side.
They're doing the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust right now, going back old school. 1st and 10 at their own 41 for the Lake Forest Spartans.
Just chewing clock right now, under 6 minutes. They could probably make this another 5-minute drive and get back down in the red zone. Only give the Quakers 12 minutes in the 4th quarter. Try to come back in this game.
Alwyn goes in motion. Johnson cuts it back up the middle. You just talked about that a couple plays ago. He's going to get it out to about the 48-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play, 2nd and 3. And you talked about cutting back to that middle where they had that opening.
Yeah, on those zone-type plays, you really try to read, I believe it's the middle linebacker, if he's going to try to overplay it and go toward the outside, or if you can cut back and hit the seam almost in the middle of the field. Great read right there, and makes it 2nd and short again.
Ball sitting between the 48 and the 49-yard line. We're going to call it a 2nd and 3. Clock going down under 5 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Johnson again. He stood up at the line.
Bro, double A got blitz with 2 linebackers.
And a flag, late flag on the play. That was number 10 on the tackle. I'm sorry, number 15 on the tackle. Craig Littleton. And 54, Jackson Baines. But it looks like the Lake Forest side is clapping.
Personal foul.
Second personal foul of the game for Wilmington Friends.
Yeah, and it really hurts them. They made a good play right there and was going to make it 3rd and short. But now a first down. Now they're into the Friends side of the field.
Big 15-yard mark off. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Friends 41-yard line this time.
And it looks like the Quakers are adjusting to that inside run. I would try to go bounce it outside right here, maybe a toss play or even that counter play you mentioned earlier.
Ready to play, call, go whistle. Single back in the backfield is Johnson. And there's your keeper by the quarterback, just as you called it, Justin Jones. He's going to be dragged out of bounds at the 30.
Holding. I didn't see
holding
where the
on
hold
Lake
was.
Forest.
And that's going to hurt you, put you behind the chains. But again, this team very well again those 7 to 8 yard carries. They can break one open.
Very athletic quarterback here for the Spartans.
It's going to be a holding penalty, so it's going to bring back the 6 yard. Going to race the 6 yard gain.
About a round of applause. Some of the girls can throw pretty good, toss the football pretty good.
I wonder if Freddie Johnson's going to put Galindez in the pistol. We've seen him usually when he drops back there to the pistol, they're going to throw the ball or let him scramble, try to create something.
1st and 17 for Lake Forest.
For the Quakers, this is a must stop. The clock is
you
dripping down.
You cannot let them extend this drive with starting at a 1st and 17 if you're Wilmington Friends. Allman goes in motion. And Galindez is going to throw it downfield. He's got 2 guys together down there, but it's going to be incomplete. Somebody may have run the wrong pattern.
Not a great throw there from Galindez. It was really a jump ball for 3 or 4 different people. Looked like a corner and a wheel route. The wheel route running by the running back. I think he was trying to – I thought he was wide open, but he was going to that corner route. Looked to be his receiver, number 6.
I think the wheel route just kept drifting downfield because they ended up right next to one another.
Hey, they don't throw the ball much, so when the ball goes up in the air, you're as a receiver.
2nd and 17 for Lake Forest. Galindez brings the play in from the sidelines. Lake Forest looking to go 4-0 to start the season. Single back, that's Johnson in the backfield. And it's going to be an option, pitch out, ball on the turf. And I think Lake Forest may have got it back and maybe a yard on the play.
Great read there from number 2, Peter Erskine, the junior safety. As he saw that motion coming, he ran down and almost tried to blitz off the outside, but he really covered that outside gap.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 17 for the Spartans.
I think if you're Freddie Johnson here, you just hand it off to Isaiah Johnson.
Yeah,
just try to get a few yards.
And chew up more clock.
Maybe he can break one, maybe even a toss play. But I don't think you want to put it in the hands of your quarterback right now when you're up 9-0 here midway through the 3rd.
But he's going to roll out.
He's open.
Oh, brought down. Sack by the Quakers.
Last 2 times Force has been on offense. They've been going backwards.
It's number 28 on the sack. Oh, this is going to be a tough one here, Justin. Osinachi Chakawocha.
Yeah, I'll let you say that.
Yeah.
That was good.
I think I was close. Clock running. On the punt is, I believe, Morris. And standing back is Williams at his own 10-yard line.
Back on that last play, Benny, Damian Galindez, I guess he couldn't see the receiver. He ran an angle route towards the pylon, and he was wide open.
Takes it at the 11, makes a guy miss, cuts it out to the right side, and makes another guy miss, and then goes out of bounds. And they take over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. And now I think we're starting to get into the a little bit of urgency here for Wilmington Friends, Justin.
Yeah, they've been running a lot of the fullback dives. I want to see him drop back and test these corners.
Maybe on a first down.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about Newark last week. They really hurt this Lake Forest defense through the air.
Right.
Coming in with a 3-year starter in Wyatt Nelson, just haven't really seen him, throw the ball down the field yet. He's had time, but he's also had just that little bit of pressure at the end of his drop. He's been forced.
So the last two, he got hit right as he threw the ball. But he stays in the pocket. He's a tough kid. 1st and 10 for the Quakers. Handoff left side as Dixon gets skinny, gets up about 6 yards on the carry, and they push him back. And the referee's going to mark him about 6 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 4.
We saw this last time. Nice gain on first down. They got a few first downs, but they hurt themselves. They had a pitch play that went outside and ended up losing 5 yards, got behind the chains. Probably just stick to what they know right here and just try to dive inside, make it second and manageable.
After this play, we'll have the DeJuan Johnson State Farm trivia question at the conclusion of this play. 2nd and 3 for Wilmington Friends. Nelson drops back, looks to his left, has a man open, in and out of the hands. 3rd down. Folks, your DeJuan Johnson State Farm trivia question for tonight. When was the last time Lake Forest started a season 3-0? When was the last time Lake Forest started a season 3-0? That's your DeJuan Johnson State Farm trivia question. We'll have the answer at the beginning of the 4th quarter. I'll let you take a guess.
I think I have it.
All right. Well, when we get to, I'll let you go. I'll let you guess first. Minute 32 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 3 for the Quakers. Lake Forest showing blitz. Dixon gets through the line, has the first down out about the 50. 1st and 10, just over the 50-yard line for the Quakers.
For Nelson, we talked about that passing game. That's about the 3rd drop for the offense for the Quakers. I mean, it's tough to be in a quarterback throwing the ball, and he's putting them in good spots. That's about the 2nd or 3rd one that's been tipped or dropped.
Ball marked at the 49 of Lake Forest for a first down. Clock running, approaching a minute here to play in the 3rd quarter. 9-0 lead for the Spartans. Nelson, 3-step drop, looks to the left, has a man open, hit, goes out of bounds. Pickup of about 7 or 8 on the play.
I love running that combination right there. I was able to see that looking over the game film for Wilmington Friends. They love that 3-step drop and a great pickup of 8 or 9 yards.
To Davis on that little quick out.
And sometimes you see a team try to do a couple of those quick outs and then also go for that double move, that big play, which I think might be able to see this drive. Go for that out, have him turn up field, try to hit him deep.
2nd and 2 for Quakers. And hand off the left side, and he's got the first down. And this is what we said twice now. We've seen Wilmington Friends get this thing going, just haven't been able to finish one off yet. Ball going to be down to about the 36-yard line of the Spartans. Nelson bringing the play in from the sideline.
A lot of space on this near side. See if they get it put in the hands of one of their playmakers.
And it's Dixon going through the right side. Pickup of about 6 on the play, or 5 on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5, but the clock's winding down under 10 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. And it looks like Coach Tattersall is going to take this to the 4th quarter, 9-0 as the clock winds down to zeros. Folks, we'll be right back. Your score at the end of 3 quarters, Lake Forest 9, Wilmington Friends 0.
To hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
And welcome back. Justin, go ahead. What is your answer to the trivia question? Let me read it one more time. When was the last time Lake Forest started a season 3-0?
I was deciding between 2015 or 2016. I think it's 2016.
It is 2014.
I was close.
You were 2014. The Spartans went 10-0 that season and won the Henlopen South.
I thought it was after I graduated. It ended up being the year I graduated.
2014 was the last time the Spartans started a season 3-0, and they ended up going 10-0 and winning the South and making the playoffs. Here we go, fourth quarter action underway. Second and 4 for Wilmington Friends. Ball at the 21-yard line of Lake Forest.
Big mismatch out here on the near part of the field.
It's going to be Opera Deck right side. He's got some running room, cuts it back in, going to get the first down. First down, Wilmington Friends.
William Davis was down here on the near side part of the field going up against Michael Brown, and just a giant size difference. It looks like he has about 7 or 8 inches on him. Wouldn't be surprised to see a pass, a little fade ball to the bottom of the field.
Yeah, you're right. We saw it once already. Went off his fingertips in the third quarter. Ball at the 21-yard line. Dixon gets about a yard on the play. It's going to be just outside the 20. Going to bring up a 2nd and 1.
Lake Forest's defense has made the plays tonight.
Yes, they have. See if they can, like we said, Wilmington Friends has put together some good drives early, just unable to finish them off. Part of that is this Lake Forest defense. Let's see if Lake Forest can stuff them again. But they are in field goal range for Jacob Jaworski.
And that's actually a big impact on this game. 2-score game, but, I mean, with Jaworski as the kicker, he has a big foot.
Drops back to pass, has a man open on the right side. And it's a catch down inside the 10. That's going to take us into the Lashers red zone. Lashers Barbecue brings you the red zone.
Spartan's starting to bite on that play fake, and the corner route was wide open for the tight end. Great throw from the quarterback in Nelson.
First down and goal. Ball looks like it's sitting around the 7-yard line.
First and goal for Wilmington Friends. Spartan fans, let's make some noise for our boys. Need a big stop down in the red zone.
Dixon again cuts back, takes it inside the 5. They have him down around the 1-yard line, maybe just inside the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1 for Wilmington Friends, looking to get on the scoreboard here in the fourth quarter.
Let's see if the offensive defensive line matchup. Who wins it here? 2nd and goal.
I imagine if you're Wilmington Friends, you're going behind that big number 77. We'll see on that right side. Where they've been liking tonight, and that's where they go right side. That's Dixon. I don't think he got in.
Ran into the back of 77.
Right. It's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. And maybe a loss of on the play. It looks like the referee's standing at the 2. So 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line for Wilmington Friends. They trailed 9-0, under 10 minutes to play here in the game. And Nelson's going to take it himself, and it gets it in, squares the shoulders, touchdown for Wilmington Friends. Wyatt Nelson gets them on the board.
Great play call there from the Quakers. Wyatt Nelson, I'd say, is probably their biggest back.
Yeah.
Playing quarterback. The running backs are more scat backs, more speedy guys. Wyatt Nelson able to push it in right there.
You saw what he did, too. When he got to the line of scrimmage, he squared the shoulder pads up and took it straight in. On the kick is Jaworski. So now we're starting to wonder what that blocked extra point it could be.
And Jaworski, big leg. If they get the ball back, with only about a minute or 2 remaining, they just got to get in field goal range.
And Jaworski has it up and good. 9-7 lead for the Quakers, folks. We're going to take a timeout, come back with more Fourth quarter action, your score, Lake Forest 9, Wilmington Friends 7. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Felton. Jaworski on to kick it off. He's got a big leg, so I would expect this to go through the end zone, not give Lake Forest a chance to run it back. And kicks a floater, and it's going to be into the end zone where he's going to pick it up. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Spartans. And now I think you got to look less of eating up clock, ball control, and maybe go on a scoring drive here.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that missed extra point looks like it may come back and hurt him if they can't get a first down and a scoring drive, really. Their defense has done a nice job today, the Spartans. So I believe Coach Freddie Johnson trusts his defense. They're going to try to score on this drive, probably give it right back to Isaiah Johnson.
1st and 10 for the Spartans at their own 20. They lead by 2. Wilmington Friends and both these teams had close games last week. It's going to be a handoff left side. I believe that's 24. Elliott on the carry. Big gain gets it out to about the 26. Gain of 6 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Great push from the offensive line right there. As Elliott wasn't touched until he got into the second level, able to carry a defender with him.
Melendez brings the ball, play in from the sideline. Approaching 9 minutes to play here in the game. Johnson on the carry. It looks like he's got the first down. And pushes the pile across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. 1st and 10.
It's impressive for this Lake Forest offense. 8 guys in the box for the Quakers, and Isaiah Johnson still able to pick up the first down. A lot of room on the outside, though, covering these receivers.
1st and 10 for the Spartans at their own 32-yard line. And I'm sure Freddie Johnson would love a good 6.5 minute drive, scoring drive here. And we don't do time of possession, but if we did, boy, they'd have to definitely be leading in it.
They're dominating on that category.
Johnson again, right side, and he's going to get it out to about the 38-yard line.
And misdirection right there on the jet sweep. Allow Johnson to pick up 7 or 8 yards.
I think we might just see that jet sweep before this game's over with, because Alwyn looks like when he gets out of here, he's got a lot of space to run. 2nd and 4 for the Spartans.
2nd and 4, Melendez under center.
Oh, hitting the backfield's Johnson on the blitz. Maybe a loss on the play. He may have dove back for the original line of scrimmage. He does. No gain on the play. 3rd and 4.
Couldn't see who that was. It was a guy on the defensive line or one of the linebackers blitzing. Looked to be Sam Guys.
Yeah, it could have been. It was a 0 at the end. I know that. 3rd and 4.
That's what you're going to have to do against an offense like this. You're going to have to try to blitz and blow them up in the backfield, hopefully blitz in the B gap when they're trying to pull a guard.
And they're showing blitz again. Johnson left side. And he's going to get across the 40 to about the 41, maybe 42-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th and a long one.
Important decision right here for Lake Forest and Freddie Johnson. Do you trust your defense, or do you think you can pick up that yard?
Under 7 minutes to play. That's a fourth and a long run one.
Looks like that spot's off about a half a yard.
I just got moved. They heard you.
I was something's not adding up where the guy was standing at where the ball was.
They heard you now. It's a fourth and a short one.
Might be the play of the game right here. If they could stop them here, set themselves up.
For the Spartans, you're almost at midfield.
Melendez under center. And it's going to be a handoff to Johnson. And he's going to be close.
Looks like he got it.
Referee on our side would indicate would be a first down if that's where they put it. And they do. First down for the Spartans. Big play for Lake Forest.
Great job by Isaiah Johnson. Able to just put his head down and run through the tackler and move the pile.
They get a new set of downs. Ball at about the Lake Forest 43.
And on the defensive side for the Quakers, you're going to have to dial up some here shortly. You're running out of time.
You know, for Freddie Johnson, you know that's coming. Do you take a chance and, get your quarterback out in the bootleg?
There it is.
He's got a man wide open. That's Jalen Moore. He's got it down inside the 30 for a Lake Forest first down. Jalen Moore brings in the long pass. That's two of his longest passes of the season.
Yeah, only came into this game with, I believe, 33
yards. We have an injured player down.
Wilmington Friends, number 77, Manny Adibe. See him.
That looked to be about a 35, 36-yard completion right there.
And, Jalen Morris was open for a long time. The ball was high in the air. He sees it. He throws him open. That's a touchdown.
If he leads him at all.
Yeah, he throws to the open receiver. He needs to learn to throw that kid open, and he'll start airing some things out. 1st and 10 for Lake Forest at the 26-yard line of Wilmington Friends, approaching 5 minutes to play here in the game.
That was a great route by Morris, so wide receiver in the angle routes, was selling the block and then went right towards the corner.
Johnson right side, puts his head down, gets it across the 25, down to about the 24-yard line. Pick up a 2 on the play. Give him a pick up a 3, 2nd and 7. But most importantly, this clock is winding right now.
Yep. And I think you were right with them dialing up the blitz. They did it at a perfect time on the last play, but Freddie Johnson able to dial up the play-action pass. And a nice gain of 3 on first down, staying in front of the chains.
We talked about Sussex Central needing a bounce-back week. They're getting it. They lead Cesar Rodney 34-7. Folks, we're going to take a timeout. With this timeout, I believe this – not sure who took it. Maybe Lake Forest. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Couldn't be more excited about having our show here held at the Buffalo Wild Wings and Christiana location here on Route 7, brand new location. They moved here from Limestone Road, and it's going to be the new home of 302 Sports Week. I'm going to recap some local, college, and professional stuff. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the day, top 5 plays. Here we go. Stanley, your number 1 play from AI, 76-yard punt return. We got ourselves the quality cam here on the sideline. It's awesome to watch from this angle, to be honest with you. And watch, whoa, going up. He went to 412. He left the first there at 4-4. Those ups right there. You can't eat this stuff up.
So we're back to Felton, Delaware, James H. Blade Stadium. Lake Forest facing a 2nd and 7. Coming off the timeout. 4:33 to play in the game. Johnson left side. Pushes the pile. And looks like he gets it down inside the 20. That puts it in the Lashers red zone, Lashers Barbecue red zone, Lone Neck Road. If you're down around the beach in the summer, it's worth the drive west. Trust me. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 3.
Great play call there from Freddie Johnson. I was thinking about mentioning about the timeouts, usually going back to the pass, but here under 5 minutes, you knew who they were going to give it to.
You're right.
Up the middle. And a great pickup makes it 3rd and short.
And most likely they're going to see it again. 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 for Glendale.
Single back in the backfield. That's Johnson. And up the middle. Breaks a tackle, puts his head down. First down, Isaiah Johnson.
Great job by the offensive line. They brought a blitz on the right side of the offensive line, but they were pushed back, but they were able to stand their ground and allowed Johnson to pick up a first down.
Most importantly, just eating up clock. 7:30 to go in the third quarter, still 12-10 Smyrna. So a game that we thought could be high scoring has become a defensive battle up there.
That's what it's been with them this year, I believe.
Yes, you're right.
Usually relying on that offense, but that defense stepping up.
1st and goal from the 13-yard line. Johnson left side, steps out, breaks the tackle, touchdown! Isaiah Johnson, 2nd of the game.
Hats off to that offensive line, opening up a giant hole. Isaiah Johnson finding the hole into the end zone, makes it a 2-possession game for the Spartans.
Isaiah Johnson's 8 touchdowns on the season. On the kick, Cade Collins. Looking to make this a 9-point lead. Important kick here because this is going to make it 2 scores. Up. Good. 16-7. Folks, we're going to take a timeout. Your score, Lake Forest 16. Wilmington Friends 7 with 3:01 left to play in the ballgame. We'll be right back.
At Capstone Homes, we believe your new home should be designed and inspired by you. Our comprehensive new home experience will give you peace of mind. We have in-house design and drafting, selection centers, and model homes throughout Sussex County so you can experience different layouts. And a terrific team that takes an amazing amount of pride in each and every home we build. Create your new home. Create a Capstone home.
And welcome back to Lake Forest. 3:01 left to play in the game. The Spartans with a 2-score lead. And they'll be kicking off. And this kid's got a big foot, too. I think you maybe want to put this through the end zone and make them go 80 yards to get their first score.
Yeah, and we've seen the offense today for the Quakers really have not been on the same page all evening. But here's their time to shine right here. 3 minutes left in the ball game. Can this senior-heavy team try to lead a comeback?
Folks, stick around at the end of the game. After a couple commercial breaks, we'll talk about our Active Pest Solution Pest of the Game and our Louis Pizza Player of the Game, as well as our Arena Deli post-game stats. And we have a whistle as Collins, just like a pitcher, finish the pitch.
Yep.
Somebody calls time, finish the pitch. Don't hurt yourself. Kick that ball, finish it.
I wonder what they're going to call on there. Why the delay?
The Friends took a timeout. Okay, Lake Forest, they took a timeout and they insert a couple new players. So they're putting in, you see Alwyn coming in, 16-7. They're going to put their seniors on the field and try to put this thing away. So Lake Forest uses that timeout.
Big chance here for the Quakers to get back into the game. A return, even past midfield, could be pretty big,
right,
trying to get back into it.
Collins the kick, 3:01 to play in the game. And he's going to kick it to take it about the 14-yard line. Breaks a couple tackles and knocked down. Who was that on the hit?
Looks to be the kicker.
The kicker, Cade Collins. Wow. And he goes, somebody else ought to go get his tee when you make a hit like that.
Yeah, that was a big hit for the kicker. You love seeing those types of plays.
And that wasn't even like a safety valve. He went down there and hit him.
He looked like a linebacker making that tackle.
I got here around 4:45, and he was already out of here teeing balls up and kicking them. So he came ready to play football tonight. 1st and 10 for the Quakers at their own 33-yard line. Wyatt Nelson drops back, looks left. There's that little out to Davis. Pickup of 2 on the play. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the yard marker's moving now. 4, 5. Goes back. Pickup of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
And for this Lake Forest defense, they're playing with everything in front of them. Looks to be about a cover 3. Just, let Wyatt Nelson deliver that 6, 7-yard pass, make the tackle.
Yeah, keep everybody in front of you. They got to get 2 scores here.
And I think at some point you're going to have to go for a shot down the field. He has the arm.
And the receivers to do it.
The receiver lined up on the inside. Here it is.
Play action, drops back, looks to the out. That's Guys on the catch, takes it across midfield.
Gets out of bounds.
Gets out of bounds at about the 42-yard line with 2:45 to play.
Smart play by Guys, the senior, to get out of bounds, save some clock.
After 3 quarters in Georgetown, Sussex Tech 21, Milford 6. So Milford, they're getting 2 weeks in a row coming back to the Henlopen North this year.
And it's always tough to make that jump in any sport.
And the North ain't being friendly right now. 1st and 10 for the Quakers. Straight drop back for
double move.
Incomplete pass.
I like the double move call, but you're calling it to the short side of the field. There's no room over there.
You're right.
He has safety help on that side. If you throw it to the opposite side of the field, you can lead him towards the end zone.
2nd and 10 for the Quakers at their own ball at the Lake Forest 42.
Also lining up in that jumbo set, the safety can see where everyone's at on that inside
you're
part,
right.
see the routes. If you spread them out a little bit, make it a little bit more difficult for this defense.
Play action, drop back, looks out to the right, hits the upper deck, wrapped up right away by Jalen Moore. Tell you what, this kid's having a quiet game right now, Jalen Moore.
Jalen Moore, the receiver on the offensive side, made a couple big catches on the defensive side, tackling in space.
Big punts.
Yep. In space, making that open field tackle, big difference maker, makes it 3rd and 11.
2:15 and counting here to play in the game. 3rd and 11 for the Quakers. Straight drop. Look to his right. Has a man. Steps in front. Incomplete. Knocked down. See if we got a number on that.
Looks to be number 8, I believe.
Said number 1, Keith Scott on the breakup.
Makes it 4th down. This is the ball game right here, Benny.
With 2 minutes to go, 4th and 11 for the Quakers. And Wilmington Friends is going to take a timeout. We're going to take one with them. Your score with 2:02 left to play in the game. Lake Forest Spartans 16, the Wilmington Friends Quakers 7. We'll be right back.
Began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant.
And welcome back to Lake Forest. Benny Mitchell here with Justin Jones. Your Henlopen Conference Friday Night Game of the Week, live from Felton James H. Blade Stadium.
And we knew this was going to be a good game. And that's what
we did.
That's what we paid for, really. Score 16-7.
That's right. And Justin Jones walks in, sits down, takes the underdog at home on his debut here at 303 Sports.
4th and 11 for the Quakers. Nelson back to pass.
Nelson rolling to the right and has a man open, out of bounds, but he's enough for the 1st down.
That's a great play and a great throw from Nelson and his receiver. Rolling out to that right. I mentioned that in the top of the broadcast. Rolling out to that right. Get him outside the pocket. Let him see his receivers. 56 left. I think they have
some pressure. Turns it up. Throws. Has a man open in and out of his hands. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
They ran 2 out routes, but the farther receiver on the outside ran it out and up. and had him wide open, had him on the double move, but I don't think he saw it. He was just going to take the check down.
At the end of 3 quarters, Smyrna still leads Slazanum 12-10.
Might be able to catch that game.
Yeah, he might be catching the way up. We'll have a
hit OT.
Short Sodell Concepts post-game show. And 2nd and 10 at the Lake Forest 29.
Watch out for the tight end down here.
Nelson drops back, looks left, under pressure. He's sacked! And a flag.
Might have been holding. We'll see what they're going to call. It's against the offense.
That was number 66, Christopher Thompson, a guy we talked about in the pregame.
Hasn't really made much of an impact overall today, but he makes the play when it's needed. I believe that's his 4th sack on the year now.
And a hold on Wilmington Friends, not what they needed right now. It's going to bring up 2nd.
2nd and long.
A lot, yeah. There's 20 of them. There's 25 of them. 26. 2nd and 26 for the Quakers.
I think you need to have one of your running backs stay in here, help protect and block. But I think you got to go to this Lake Forest side of the field. If you see number 7, Jalen Moore, who we talked about, he's a little undersized compared to these Quakers wide receivers.
Make some noise, Spartan fans.
Split to both sides. Nelson drops back, rolls right. He looked back to the left. He's under pressure again. Sacked! Another big sack by the Lake Forest Spartans. That's number 19 on the sack. Curtis Spencer.
A great job by the defensive coordinator, dialing up a pressure. We talked about it earlier in the game. Wyatt Nelson hasn't really faced a lot of pressure this season, and this Lake Forest defensive line has stepped up and controlled the line of scrimmage all game.
Wilmington Friends taking a timeout here, facing a 3rd and forever. 3rd and looks like about almost 50. Like about 47 or 48.
Benny, I think.
What's in your playbook on this?
I always love trick plays, so I mean, I know they haven't really seen one tonight, but this is the time and moment you bring it out right here.
Right. Or a little screen, a middle screen.
I thought about that earlier. The screen, haven't really seen any of them today, and a lot of defense aren't
I don't think you're going to
it.
see as much pressure by Lake Forest this time. I would expect a 4-man rush here and keep people in front. Minute 28 to go in the game. Lake Forest ahead 16-7.
2 receivers down here to the bottom of the field, most likely coming this way. Watch the wheel route from the slot receiver.
Drops back.
There it is.
He's under pressure again. Rolls to the right. Escapes. Has a man open. And not sure if he picked it or not.
Looks like it fell incomplete.
Incomplete.
But they brought that pressure to the wide side of the field, and they had a post, which is where he threw it, and also the wheel route, which was open.
4th and 34 here with a minute 18 to go in the game. Yeah, worse than the sack was that holding penalty. Just pushed him back because it was a spot foul. Ends up being like a 15-yard penalty.
I love Lake Forest's ability to dial up pressure. That means you trust your corners. When you bring pressure, you're leaving your corners on an island back there, and they've been holding their own.
Here we go, 4th and 34.
Looks like a 5-man pressure. Got to get rid of it.
He's hit, lets it go, and knocked down, incomplete. Turnover on downs, and Lake Forest looks to ice this one away. And Nelson a little slow getting up, but he's up and come back play his defensive end position.
Has to be upset. Had a chance in the second half. They just started slow in the first half, and hats off to Lake Forest. Friends coming in here ranked number 2 in the state here on their home turf. Lake Forest
number 8
so far
in the state.
Able to pull off the upset.
We said, coming in the broadcast, I said this is probably the biggest game for Lake Forest in 5 years, as in terms of a statement, making a statement in the state. Look, they're going to jump up in the rankings next week.
And we saw for Wilmington Friends, they lost by a touchdown last week to the defending state champs in Woodbridge.
Right. Be
interesting to see these 2 Henel Open Conference teams go off.
That's coming up second half of the season.
Glad to see Dale Webb in the house tonight.
Folks, as soon as we get down to 000, we'll go to a quick commercial, come back with the Active Pest Solutions Pest of the Game and the Louis Pizza Player of the Game.
And that'll end it there for Lake Forest. Big victory for them.
The Spartans are 4-0. They defeat the Wilmington Friends.
Lake Forest Spartans now 4-0. They knock off the number 2 team in the state, the Wilmington Friends Quakers, 16-7. Folks, we're going to take a commercial timeout. Come back with our award winners for tonight.
4-0.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lewis, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Well, Justin, this is your first time on 302 Sports, and when you see the ants crawling on the screen, that can only mean one thing. It's time to name our Active Pest Solution Pest of the Game, and tonight we had a little bit of an infestation.
Yeah,
we
a lot
couldn't
of guys
settle on one. Tell us who our Pest of the Game are.
It'll be Damian Galindez, the junior quarterback, number 5. Did a great job here today. Was able to play on offense, and he did a nice job dropping back into passes, creating stuff in the run game. But also, he had a lot of big passes coming into this game, only 3 for 6 on the year through 3 games. I think he threw for almost over 100 yards today.
Right. And, folks, we just couldn't pick one because Jalen Morris, the sophomore, had a great game. We have co-pest of the game again this week. Jalen Morris is our other pest of the game for the Lake Forest Spartans. He did a whole lot on both sides of the ball. Let's get to our Louis Pizza Player of the Game, and no doubt, it's a no-doubter. It's Isaiah Johnson, and we have stats for Isaiah Johnson here tonight. 34 carries, one shy of what I said I thought he'd need to go tonight, for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin, talk about this kid.
That's a big game for him. We mentioned him in the broadcast earlier in the game, the power back for this team. He was going to set the tone and carry this team to victory, and he did just that. When they needed him to break one loose, he could get 7 or 8 yards, but then when they needed that 1 yard on 4th and short or 3rd and short, he was able to get it tonight, Benny.
Isaiah Johnson is our Louis Pizza Player of the Game, and might I add, for the second time this season, he has been selected Player of the Game. Let's get to our Arenas Deli post-game stats. And your final score is Lake Forest 16, Wilmington Friends 7. Wilmington Friends a little better in the second half, 146 total yards, 56 in the air, 90 on the ground, 10 first downs, and those 2 turnovers from the first half. And then Lake Forest, 267 yards total, 67 in the air, 200 rushing yards, 14 first downs. That was huge, those 14 first downs. You talked about getting front chains. They moved the chains all night long. Our individual stats, Isaiah Johnson, 34 carries, 121 yards. Galindez, 6 carries for 40. And then add to that his 67 yards through the air, 2 for 5 in the air. For Wilmington Friends, Opterbeck, 3 carries for 33 yards, and Dixon, 16 carries for 55 yards. Catches for Lake Forest, Moore had a catch, 1 for 40, and then Morris, 1 for 27 yards. Davis had a quiet game, 3 catches, 24 yards for him, and Nelson, 6 of 16 for 56 yards and the 1 interception. I mean, if you were just to look at the stats, you'd say that's a game Lake Forest dominated and ate up clock, and that's exactly what they did.
Without a doubt, Benny. And for Wilmington Friends, just had a couple miscues tonight, both turnovers and also a couple drop passes on the offensive side. Really changed this game. But hats off to Lake Forest again, coming away with the victory here tonight.
Lake Forest Spartans moved to 4-0 on the season. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in the Bridgeville. We're actually Greenwood now. We'll have Archmere Hawks and the Woodbridge Blue Raiders next Friday night on our Olympic Conference Friday night game of the week. For Trey Mitchell on the camera, Dave Marvel on the stats, my new partner Justin Jones stepping in tonight, and we're going to see him a little bit more. We're going to find some 302 things for him to do because we can't let mom and dad's college money go to waste. We got to put it to use. I'm Benny Mitchell for 302 Sports. Thank you, Kristen Mitchell, back in Lewis with the updates. One more time, see if we can get an update on Smyrna. We do not have one. Oh, yes, we do. Smyrna 18-10 with 8:43 left to play in that game. Can Smyrna knock off the number 1 team 2 weeks in a row? We're going to find out, but on Twitter, because I'm getting ready to roll out of here. Folks, for 302 Sports,